on today's episode of Keep It Coming podcast.
So do you think God is a man or a woman?
Neither.
So you accidentally did, which you share a similar story with Shayan.
I was a very big hole. Like I was down
Hole or
hole.
Oh. Like when I'm in a crowded room, I feel alone. And then I just look at one person across the room and I'm like, you're my person. Yay!
Welcome back to the Keep It Coming podcast. We have the best guest ever,
Yes,
Miss
I'm
Vicky
so
Vox,
excited.
who has crawled out of her hole to say hi to us.
Yes. Hi. Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, this is so great. This is literally like my childhood fantasy, like fulfilled. I love you so much.
You're welcome.
I grew up watching you, a little gay boy in Plano, Texas, watching you.
Little sissy.
Little sissy. Yeah. So you are so iconic. So if you can, please tell everyone who you are and
Where do I
a little
start?
intro. Yeah.
You can start with your famous laugh. I'd say infamous.
Oh my
Is
God,
it?
yes.
I'm not doing all of that, but I will tell you that I am.
What if he Venmoed you?
Yeah, you have to pay me for this. Everything costs money. I am the Vicky Vox, the one and
Yes.
only. And you know what? You're just fucking welcome. Google me.
Yes.
There we go.
Exactly.
How about that?
My face is my ID.
Oh, really? No, literally. Yes.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thanks.
I know that Shayan called you out on TikTok Live, which is
Yes.
what got you here.
So wild.
Okay, but it's because I have a thing.
Uh-huh.
Like people just come up on my thing, and if I like see you as being anywhere kind of familiar, I
Okay.
just go in and I start gifting.
Yeah. Oh
And it's
my
kind of just my favorite
God.
thing to do. Like
Oh my God, I love
just to bring
that.
vibes.
I
just
love
to bring
that.
vibes. And so when you called me out immediately, I was like,
Yes.
oh, I should probably go say yes and do that.
Right. Well, because Anthony had told me, he was like, oh yeah, Vicky Vox is going to come. Vicky Vox. I'm like, oh my God, cute. And then like, I was like, okay, and then you popped up and I was like, no way.
See, God has a way of working things out. Because my ADHD took over and I said, can I have a minute to respond
Yeah.
There we go.
and tell you yes? And so my
Yes.
plan was, in my head, I had the whole conversation like, yes, when are we doing this? I just never texted it.
It's all good. So do you think God is a man or a woman?
Neither.
Oh,
yeah.
Because they both had to come from it.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, actually, if you really want to get into it, I did not see these shoes
Oh,
earlier.
that's cute.
I had to swap them out for something shiny and sparkly.
That's rude.
Uh-huh.
Very nice, though. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, there's Father God and Mother God, but then there's like source creation.
Okay.
And if you look at it, you have the light and the dark. And so the dark is all of the possibility,
Okay.
all of potential,
Okay.
all of like anything that could ever be created.
Right.
And then the light is how it gets created with information and structure
Okay.
and form.
Wow.
I got it. Well, before we get too deep into this, let's just kind of backtrack and let everyone
Sorry,
know.
you asked the question.
No,
I
you're
live
absolutely right. You're
in
right.
this
Oh,
space.
yeah. That's
No, and
so
I want to
good.
get you
I
in there,
love it. Oh, I
but we got to
can't
give a little
wait.
bit of context real quick. So, Miss Vicky Vox here, you used to do drag. You were,
I did. I was a professional cross-dresser.
yeah,
And then I was very good, very successful.
Yes.
Awesome.
Very
I
like
met you 15 years ago,
You're welcome.
back when you were in the thick of it. She used to bartend with me at Mickey's occasionally as a little pop-up
Yes.
celebrity guest bartender.
It was kind of
Oh
fun
my
and also wild. I
God.
really don't know how well I did.
You've
It
known
was
Anthony
just
for 15 years.
Yes.
Oh
And
my God.
then-
What was he like?
on purpose. Honestly, a joy to be around.
Yeah.
You always have had this like weird mysteriousness, mysteriousness though. I don't think it's real, but I think you do very well at creating it.
Perfect.
not everybody knows your business, and I
coming
like
for
that
you.
about
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Even with the podcast, let's still try
Yeah.
to keep a little bit of anonymity to it, you know?
Yeah.
But you did tell me earlier that you are no longer interested in doing drag at
No.
all. Okay.
No.
Cute.
Well, unless if the
I mean, if the
coin is
money's right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Listen, if the money is
Exactly,
right, I feel like
exactly.
anybody could do a lot of things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
True. Yeah, we all got bills
What it
to
starts
pay.
as a no, when the money goes up, will turn to a yes.
Yes. Yes.
Depending on what it is. There's like a few things that is a hard no, and some is a maybe.
Okay. So what are you doing these days? I see that
Well,
you have your cards here. And
Yeah, I brought cards. Honestly, I bring these playing cards everywhere because I switched from doing performance to doing prayerformance. So I am in the world of, I've been a psychic medium my whole life.
Okay.
And now I do it on purpose. And I read cards for people. I talk to dead people.
Wow.
I channel information.
So cool.
I'm an energy healer. I'm a sound healer. I lead shamanic journeying with breath work and sound
Okay.
and meditations and things like this.
Love that.
This is my world. I also facilitate psilocybin ceremonies.
Which we know I
No
love.
way.
I love mushrooms.
And I help people
ashwagandha
microdose.
ceremonies and stuff.
Ashwagandha, girl, that's
Or
a
no?
herb. A little, you just
Oh,
take
wait.
it.
Oh,
and
no,
it's
not
a little
ashwagandha.
vitamin, bitch.
What's the other one?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Yes, I don't lead those, but I will
Okay.
absolutely go if it is right.
Wow.
I have been called. I think I've sat with that medicine maybe 10 times now. 10
Wow.
ceremonies.
Oh my God, I'm
Meditation?
too scared to
You
do
know,
that.
and we talked about a lot today. She came extra early today. So we went down to the Oddities Museum here in Burbank, and
Yes.
we walked around looking at skeletons.
They had a
and
lot of
whatnot.
bugs. A lot of birds.
A lot of bugs. A lot
But
of
you didn't bring more bugs.
No,
we
Which
didn't
bring
surprised
any-
me. Oh, thank God.
no. But
He threw crickets on me in one of the episodes.
they were
Like edible
They were
crickets?
giant
African
crickets.
crickets.
They were great
Why they
No,
gotta be
yeah.
African?
because they were black.
Okay.
No, but they were.
Were they,
No,
were
they
they
were
actually,
African. They were
like,
African. No,
actually-
they were
Are they
African.
from Africa?
No,
Okay.
they were African.
They were
yeah.
huge.
They
They
were
look like
giant.
cockroaches,
Okay.
but they were,
Yeah.
you know,
The
everything.
cats.
Everything's bigger in Africa. I heard.
Oh my God.
Where were we going with this?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys went to the Oddity Museum and
No,
stuff?
we were talking
Or-
about something before that, but I forgot. I lost my train of
Oh,
thought.
ayahuasca. We were talking about
Oh
ayahuasca.
yeah,
Oh,
and
yes.
then and
Here.
then well before
I clocked in.
real quick, pronouns he, she, him, her.
Oh, she, her. All my
Okay.
legal papers are she, her.
Okay,
Yeah.
cute.
I got my F. Oh my God, y'all. I know we're not. I didn't plan on talking about nothing political, but
Yeah.
this was like, by the grace of God, by the skin of the balls of my teeth.
Yes.
I got my birth certificate changed.
Oh,
It finally showed up
you're
at my
so
house
lucky.
in January. It was the last official illegal form that needed to happen.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Shayan's not there yet.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, I'm male on my passport. Or I'm going
Are
to
you?
be male on my passport now. Yeah.
Diva.
That's really wild. Yeah.
really
it's
wild
so
because you look
crazy.
like that and I look like this.
What the what the fuck?
You are what we call a doll.
A doll? You think so?
I actually now, like for real, I live with all of my mirrors in my house covered.
Why is that? Because
Well-
Steal your soul.
energy.
Well, it's an energy thing. So
Right.
like in my bedroom, I don't sleep with a mirror
Same.
uncovered
Oh, okay.
because a mirror should not face
In
your
the
bed.
bedroom at all. No
No.
TVs either. No TVs in the bedroom either.
And then
Yeah.
depending
about
on,
that.
I grew up Italian, so like you can't have your feet facing the door, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I cover all the mirrors because, like, if you are asleep and you go to the bathroom and like there's something that happens with for me in my spirit and my brain where things shift. And
Interesting.
I've done a lot of journeying work, like just meditation,
yeah,
staring
yeah.
into a mirror.
Damn, that's
I
wild.
have to turn it off
Yeah,
unless I
yeah,
need
yeah,
to look
yeah.
at myself.
Yes.
Sorry, I got super off track. When I was asking you, so she, well, because I didn't want to like misgender anyone, but
Oh, it's okay.
So she
I don't
was
actually
telling
care.
me about because I have a little thing of DMT sitting in my nightstand that I've been looking at doing for a long time now.
Really?
But like only because Joe Rogan was like this, you
Oh,
know,
right.
it takes you into another
Yes. Yeah, he loves
universe
it.
and you
Well-
get to meet Jesus or see the afterlife, blah blah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was like, she taught me a lot of things I didn't know, like the fasting, the not eating meats, the no sexual encounters prior
Yes.
to that.
There's
which
like a whole
a lot of people
dieta.
don't know. So, like, what if someone was to do like DMT or Bufo, which I just learned about?
Yes. Well, okay, so there's DMT, the synthetic version, but we
Right.
all have DMT in our brain.
In our brain.
In our pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
what's
exists.
released when we die, right?
And when we die, sometimes when you're orgasm, things like this,
Oh,
it's one of like,
okay.
it's a real thing. So like we create this chemical, so it's natural. But it is synthesized, and sometimes if it's synthesized, I don't really fuck with that. But you have 5-MeO-DMT, which is Bufo. And this is when you sit in a ceremony. My suggestion, if you are going to do any of the plant medicines, the animal medicines, the spirit medicines, do not do it alone.
Okay.
Have somebody with you who is knowledgeable and comes from a heart space and not like, you're not doing the medicine. You're sitting with this
Okay.
medicine. You're communing with this medicine. You're listening
Yeah.
to the medicine. Because you're journeying to find out more of who you are, right? And these are technologies that nature has available to us that we can use
Yeah.
to subvert our programmed thinking,
Wow.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So basically, what I was saying about like what you should know beforehand, you want to clean your house before you invite a guest over.
Mm-hmm. You want to clean your butthole.
You want to
invite a boy over.
You know, you want to make sure your water better run clear before the trade shows up.
Mermaid lagoons.
No, we're not painting the trade. We're not doing all of that. So, like, no red meat, especially because, well, the way things are slaughtered and red meat is also really close to, like, also you don't want pork and things like this.
Or anything. Yeah.
It's also because the flesh. So like poultry is fine.
Okay.
Some fish, like fresh fish, is fine.
Okay,
Not
cute.
Farmed fish.
Oh, okay. Well, I love chicken, so thank God.
As long as it's like free range organic, she's like living her best life, not into like a thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, it depends on the medicine too, and like you want to have your diet
Okay.
go like weeks before. Sometimes,
Damn.
to sit with
That's
it,
wild.
depending on the medicine, and because you can also like do these diets with like tobacco, and you can do it with like rosemary. You can do it with any plant to learn from these plants and learn from the teachings that nature has. But if you're sitting with like the big ones, the master like ayahuasca, bufo, San Pedro, Wachuma, like you want to really be strict with it. So like no orgasming, no sexual contact, because you want to preserve it. All of your energy, you don't want to just give it away. So that because it's at your root chakra and you want to go this way.
Right.
So if you're going out this way, you're like letting it loose in the world. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Wild.
Chakras is something I need to, because I had a psychic tell me, she was like, you need to open up your throat chakra. And I'm like,
I don't think you need to open up that one. That's your
throat's open.
Your throat's open. Your throat's
business.
open, girl.
It's open now? Okay, cute. Well, this
Unless-
is like 2023.
Yeah,
when she
unless
told
you
me
have
this.
really something that you haven't spoken on.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Like if you're holding something back on purpose, like you're not telling your story,
Yeah.
or you don't speak up for yourself in specific
Aw,
situations,
I love that.
that's where you need to
Yeah.
open it.
Anthony and I are engaged. I know.
We're engaged to
I know.
money together.
I love that. money is beautiful. But I say all of this because you basically want to watch everything you consume, and that turns into like you're being really intentional about every day before you sit with this medicine. So that's why I say you're not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you're not just willy-nilly and like going to take a little space ride.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most people do. It's like, oh, we're going out to party. Give me some mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Which is
Yeah.
fine. I actually, not the first time, I did mushrooms when I was, and I say did on purpose, when I was like a teenager. Cool, fine. I was having a good time.
Yeah.
Everything was giggly and
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Somewhere in my 20s, I don't know what happened, but I got sat down
Oh, no.
by mushrooms.
Damn.
And like everybody else, it was actually at a mutual friend's house. I had to go up to the roof to be alone.
Oh, I know who this house is.
And I had to go sit. But what happened, I saw all kinds of stuff. I don't know what you were going to ask me about, but I'm talking about this. Sorry, y'all are here on the show, but it's
I
now
love
mine.
it. No, it's your show.
It's now my show. Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
yes,
Thank you for coming.
yes.
I was seeing, because I've seen things my whole life.
Okay.
So like, it wasn't weird to me. It was just a lot of information. That's why I got sat down. Like I felt like, whoa. Which happens a lot, but like I saw from everybody's back, there was like a thread, like a wire that was like moving around everywhere they went. And it was everybody in the room. And I was like, whoa. But then it was connecting to each other. And then from each other, it was connecting up. And then I saw like, oh. So I was just watching all of these connections flying around the room. And then they went to the
Like
trees.
cells.
Yes, but
Yeah.
like you know how like neurons in our brain,
Yeah.
they go to
Yeah,
connect.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like that, but like it was just the connecting piece that I was seeing. And then so like that went to trees, and then I was watching the trees go do 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 do. And then so I'm on the roof, and then I went oh, and so like it went up, and then there was like a grid over the earth.
That's so sick.
Wow.
That
And
is
then
so sick.
From that grid, it zoomed out again and then went to the moon. And I was like, okay, now we're just going to involve everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it go, doom, 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 doom. And so, like, the moon connected to other planets. And then they had a grid. And then the stars all had grids. And I was like, this is nuts.
Wow.
So everything's connected essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the thread.
Yeah, and what we were talking about, I watched that the Amazing Mycelium, I think is what it was, on Netflix, and it was kind of saying that, like, you know, mushrooms are the connectors between trees and plants, or mycelium that runs so deep. Just like it's like an iceberg. When you see a mushroom, that's just the very tip of it.
Right.
Everything beneath the earth is so much bigger.
Mushrooms are
It's-
just the fruiting body.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's kind of wild.
That's
but this
so
is what I'm
sick.
saying. So like everything that you see in nature is a lesson for the spiritual.
Wow.
So the way that fungus, the mycelial network of mushrooms connects plants, trees to send not just information, but like literally
Food.
nutrients
Right.
to each other to keep stumps alive and
Yeah.
stuff. That is happening in spirit.
Interesting.
Like the inverse is happening.
Wow.
So this is why I say when you sit with the plant medicines, you're also sitting with that much intelligence, which is why you really want to respect it and be like, okay, let me come and be
Yeah.
a gentle little listener.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people believe that human intelligence, like the quote unquote missing link, could actually be just mycelium or mushrooms, because, you know,
Right.
back in the days, buffalo and animals would kind of roam around, mushrooms would grow out of the poop.
I kind of love that theory. I also kind of
monkey or
love
an
that
ape.
mushrooms are farming us.
Interesting.
Like if you think about
Okay.
it, we are an integral part of. This is just.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's mushroom ceremonies when you die, they actually cover you in spores, and then the mushrooms will eat your body. The entire
No
thing.
way.
Like the
Yes.
entire thing.
So this is what I'm talking about. So like everything is part of the same cycle, and like we eat mushrooms, right? But then they also end up eating us. So they feed us until we're big enough.
Crazy.
To eat
Or
us.
we've lived our life long, and then we go and decompose.
Do they eat silicone?
Girl, you know that there are bacteria that do this now.
Really?
Yeah, silicone and plastic.
Oh my God, no.
I know.
Those are the ops. So we gotta make sure we stay away from those.
Girl,
bacteria.
I don't trust them. They have them. It's out there.
Wow.
So tell us about your tattoos while you're here.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
this
You
one
said this one's a story.
specifically.
I was connected to that one when I first saw it.
So we were
Curious.
talking earlier about like I've had very wild experiences in my life. And part of what I do is I'll also interpret dreams for people because I think it's such an important space that many of us.
Ooh, I want you to interpret
live
my
in.
dream then when you're done with this.
Okay, we
my
can do that.
God.
Hell yeah.
But
But she got to top me. So.
Oh. I'm down.
Period.
I'm down
Those are
today.
his dreams.
Just today.
Topping me.
So in my dream, like I've had really crazy dreams, and a lot of my dreams aren't actually even dreams.
Okay.
I feel like I'm just teaching.
No,
And I feel
love
bad
it.
about that, but like I have to
There
explain.
are people that want to learn.
But I have to
you know?
explain all of this stuff in order for me to like make sense of my own
Okay,
dreams.
okay.
So I have come to know that dreams can be many things, like what we say is a dream. So like
Okay.
you can have a dream where like if it's in the beginning of your sleep phase, you're basically uploading your experience to the cloud.
Okay.
And when it's at the end of your sleep phases, you're downloading information. Right? So like there's that.
Okay.
And those are dreams, and then sometimes those are really silly and like make no sense. And
Yeah.
it's just purging information and then getting information.
Right.
Then you have dreams where like you're actually out of your body and you think you're dreaming.
That's all of my dreams. I see myself dying in all of my dreams. It's so
Well,
crazy.
that's
Looking
different.
in on my funeral, watching
Okay,
people.
but hear me out. That's the next kind of dream I was talking
Okay,
about.
okay.
Is that you can actually go and visit other timelines.
Damn.
You actually go and see
I'm
who
dying
you
in a lot
were
of my
from like this.
timelines.
So like you have
Nuh-uh.
this soul, right? But like every choice you make is a whole different set of possibilities. So like you kind of run out these possibilities, and then when you're done with that, you join the rest of yourself. Like when you die, you just join the
Yeah.
rest of yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like quantum immortality, right? Like you don't actually die, you just join the rest of yourself.
Right.
So in that sense, if you're trying this out over here because you made that choice to go left and you made this choice to go right, so like they both need to talk to each other, and the only time they can talk to each other is you visit during dream time.
Huh. Okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
And if that's also the case, then there is also you can go visit other lives, like past lives, future lives, to get
Okay.
information of like, why do I have this problem? Like, why is my right knee always creaking?
Yeah.
You can find out like, oh, because this happened to me in this war like so many lifetimes back.
Wow. That's interesting.
Or like, why do I have this problem? It's because you need to be able to do this for the next life.
Or like, even like, why are we instantly like connected to people? Like, I will never understand like, like when, for example, like you go to a club, you go to a nightclub, you go to a bar or something, like how, I always find it so odd how like we as humans can just like look across the bar and be like, I'm going to spend
I have a lot to say about this
5 years
too.
of my life with you.
I always think
know,
it's weird that we pick friends like, hey stranger, don't ever leave.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes I feel like when I'm in a crowded room, I feel alone. Like I could be in a crowded room, in a concert venue, feel completely alone, and then I just look at one person across the room and I'm like, you're my person.
100%.
You see me, and all these people are not real.
Well,
it's weird.
NPCs.
Do you want?
Yes. Oh my God,
That's
yes.
literally how I feel when I'm driving.
I have to be careful with that kind of thinking because let me also say this: if anybody's listening, be very careful when you go down any rabbit hole.
Yes.
Because it very quickly can turn into some alt-right supremacy stuff.
Okay.
No, you're right.
It very quickly turns into racism. It very quickly turns into elitism. It very quickly turns into propaganda, and you have to give everybody all of your money, and then all of a sudden you're in a cult. So just be very careful.
Well, it's funny
talking about all of this stuff. Like, use your own discernment.
It's really funny you say that because I told the story before, but there was a time when I did mushrooms with all of my friends, and something, I don't know, because my personality is very alpha, I guess, dominant, where it turned...
so you say.
Yeah. Well, like, it turned into, like, I was almost directing, like, the show in front of me, where, like, one of my friends, I was just like, he was talking a lot, and I was like, you be quiet, I need a chair. And he's like, I'll be your chair.
I've actually seen you do this.
On his, like, all fours, and it was my chair. And I sat there, and, my friend Esteban was standing on the porch above and like looking out. And I was like, oh, you on lookout? I was like, yeah, I'm lookout and make sure no one's stealing from you. And I'm like, good. You know what I mean? And it was all just this thing that was happening in front of me. Then someone was just being annoying. And I was like, you just throw yourself in the fire. And like, the person literally was like, I'll do it for you. I had to pull myself out of it immediately because I was like, no, do not throw yourself in the fire. This is my backyard.
Yeah.
I don't want this. You know what I mean? I was like, but it was orchestrating. Like anything I was doing was just, it was all happening in front of me to where like, it was just like, oh my gosh. And like, I immediately had to pull myself out because it could go real deep, like you said.
And like in that space, people aren't as aware as you were in the moment and like continue to go.
Oh, he was absolutely going to jump the fire. He literally was like, I'll do it. He was excited to jump into the fire because I just told him to throw himself in the fire. And I was like, oh, nope. I had to snap back. I was like, not my home insurance policy, bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I remember leaving that and being like, I think Anthony's a cult leader. I think I'm in a cult. I think I might be the muse because every cult has a muse. Yeah. Andy Warhol, Edie Sedgwick.
Sometimes you gotta have a face.
I'm like, maybe I'm the muse of this.
She's 100% face of this. This is the cult. And I just want to sit on it.
I wonder, like, but then celebrity, are they just like massive cult leaders in a way? Like,
fame is a different thing.
Okay.
Fame is
okay.
Yeah, but it's also like energy vampire stuff. Like you have to feed the beast.
Right.
So, hold on. We were talking about vibes. We were talking about vibes. I love it. But it's really important to say what we just said about please use your own discernment. Do not let anybody tell you what to do with yourself.
Right.
Period. But there's like things that happen there. So like you can have soul family.
Okay.
So like I believe, I'm not gonna say anything for certain because what I know is what I know and what you know is what you know.
I say the same thing. People don't understand. They'll take you believing something for facts and then turn around and be like, that's not real. And I'm like, this is what I believe.
Your experience.
You know what I mean?
We have soul families.
Yes.
Which is, so you have your soul and then you have like a group of souls that like you kind of agree to do things with. Okay. Kind of, you have like your pre-gamers, you know, like.
Right.
Everyone, you go, okay, this time you're going to do this. I'll be the child, you be the adult, or you be the best friend this time. Or like, you'll be the one, we're going to get married, we're going to have kids this time. Like whatever it is, like you make those plans before any of you come into form. But that's sometimes with your soul family, and sometimes that's outside the soul family. But the soul family is like who you do this a lot with. And you have like a lot of the same frequencies and like spiritual DNA, like energetic imprints, blueprints. Then there's also like sometimes you are just on the same frequency as somebody else. So like where you are, you've lived your life. You may never have known them in another life before, but because you are the same vibration, that it's like all you can see in the room is the two of you, and like the rest of it goes away because you're on a different vibration from everyone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Do you believe in twin flames?
I do. Do I have one? Absolutely not.
Oh,
That's a whole other story. Wait, I got to tell you about the dream. We started talking about the dream.
Oh, yes.
Okay, twin flame. We can come back to that.
Okay.
So this
Oh, yeah, this tattoo.
this tattoo comes from, well, it's the symbol in the middle. I, years ago, this is before I talked to God. I had a 3-day conversation with God, but this was before that. I had a dream, and I'm used to have like weird experiences when I dream, and like this was why I was telling you about all the different kinds of dreams, and I was visited by things in dreams, and sometimes I am like in my body, not in my body.
Okay.
This was so real. I don't know if it was another life. I don't know if I was. All I know is that I lived it.
Yeah.
I was in this like white, very clinical,
sterile room.
Yes.
Like a hospital
right?
room. Okay.
But it wasn't a hospital, but it kind of could have been because there was somebody on like a table situation over way yonder. But like all of the walls were curved. Like all of the white walls were curved.
Okay.
And then on the inside, like we were in a room, but then there was like a hallway, but it wasn't really a hallway. Like you could see through everything, but it wasn't glass.
So it's like a weird uneasy feeling, right?
I was uneasy because like, what is all of this?
Yeah.
And like in front of me, there's a wall, but it's like not a wall.
Well, in movies, they'll make a lot of sets curved to add a sense of unease to it. Like,
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so wild.
All I knew is that there were 2 beings behind me that I could sense their color. So like this was blue and this was red, and like we didn't speak. I just knew what they were saying, and I had to choose a symbol that was on this wall in front of me. And I'm like, what symbol? What wall? And then all of a sudden, what I thought was just air, I see it like solidify, and it's now like an actual solid clear wall. And on the wall, there's like writing, and it's like moving like liquid metal, but like it has an energy to it, and it was gold. Like it was gold and like white light, and it was all like these symbols. And I'm like watching it, and all I knew was like, which one do I pick? And I just knew that I would know. And so I got in closer and like zoomed in, and then this is actually the symbol I picked, and I touched it. And when I finished following it right in time with the light, I woke up in bed, like sitting up going,
Wow. And you drew it down instantly.
and immediately drew it down. And I had looked for it for years. Years and years and years, in like all kinds of alchemical texts, like
So I've not been
runes.
able to find it.
Couldn't find it. I found things similar, but I was like, that's not it. I know that that's not it.
Wow.
So I put it on myself so that, because I created it like with this hand, I came into this body. So I was like, I'm going to use that and put it.
Yeah.
Because the right hand is what you put out into the world, and the left is what you receive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Whoa.
The right side is masculine, the left side is feminine.
What?
Oh.
Wow. Oh my God, that's wild. Oh wait, so twin flames.
So twin flames.
Okay. Because love is a huge thing for me.
Is it?
It's.
I'm gonna tell you, don't look for a twin flame, please.
I know. Well, no. I feel like I found my twin flame in an odd way.
So here we are.
Yes, but I lost him, so
That will continue to happen.
yeah, and it hurts for sure.
Well, why
It's
don't we do
something
this?
that I cannot, for some reason, detach from. And it's like I can detach from anything else, but for some reason, I don't know why I'm so drawn to this.
Because it's your twin
person.
flame.
I know. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was anyone else. Because there is, as much as I do love and adore, there is a sort of darkness to his energy that does kind of scare me, for sure.
Well, let's talk about the purpose.
Okay.
Well, how they happen.
Okay.
This is how I know I don't have one, because I was talking about dreams and stuff. And I had a dream where I went, and it was also a guided meditation where I went to visit to see if I had a twin flame. And I came right from God. Wow. Okay. So twin flame is when your soul actually is split in two.
Right.
And like incarnates at the same time. It doesn't always have to incarnate at the same time. But basically you're split in two. So you're looking for the other half of yourself. And what happens when it's incarnated in this world at the same time is it ends up being reflections of itself. So like anything you need to work on, this person is going to bring out of you. Any trigger you could possibly have, this person's going to find. And you for them. Right? Also, you're going to hold up a mirror to be like, all of the beauty that could possibly exist is a potential right in front of you because you're looking at yourself.
Wow.
Interesting.
Huh.
So the reason why like you often twin flames will like come together and it's amazing. Sometimes they don't even like physically meet. You just know you have a twin flame. You can meet them in dreams, and like people have talked to twin flames all kinds of ways. But sometimes they come together, they fall out, they're like ripped apart. They're not even
literally ripped apart. Yeah.
And then they come back together, and then they get ripped apart, and they come back together.
Wow.
Some of them are really great relationships. They're not all romantic.
Interesting.
Let me say that.
Okay.
They don't all have to be like your partner in that way.
Huh. Wow.
Damn.
So real. That is too real.
I just said everything I said so that it's easier to navigate because it's such a. It can be really volatile.
Yeah.
It's not always.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've accepted it for what it is, and I'm just in a place where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on, you know, a different path in life, you know, a career path. But yeah, that's so crazy.
But they're definitely big teachers for us.
Oh yeah, taught me so much. Like the biggest change in my life for sure.
And you for them.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Wow.
I'm gonna pull us out of a little bit of a deep hole.
I live there.
I know.
Not a deep hole though.
Not a deep space. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit because you're gonna get people like, damn, like what the fuck. So Miss Detox,
I love Detox.
who we love Detox,
Yes.
But that's
she,
a surprise I could always.
she sent me a few questions.
Aw.
But she said to ask you about your experience on Magic Mike.
Of course she would. She was so proud.
Yeah.
She's one human
So
being that like
amazing.
really I fucking love her so much.
Yeah.
She's always so proud of like every little thing and like cries when she's
Yeah.
Oh, the
Just in
list.
her space.
There's
No, that was a
there's quite
huge,
the list of questions.
huge moment. I still remember in the theater seeing you go up there, and I was gagged.
I was really lucky to do that, and I think I only got cast because I know they didn't actually want to cast me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a friend of a friend was working on casting and was like, "No, you have to choose Vicky." And the reason they chose me is because I was one of the only queens that they were looking at that had not done Drag Race.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because
And to this
everyone
day,
else,
you've still not done Drag Race, correct?
correct,
Okay, cool.
correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I was very successful.
Yeah.
But because of that, it could have worked in like my favor or not. But they didn't want it to be like a cameo. They wanted someone to go in and do it.
Like their own character,
Yeah.
their own person.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you're such a great actress.
Thank you.
You're such a great actress. For
Thank
sure.
you. I started acting. That's where everything
Yeah.
started for me.
Yeah.
Before any drag, anything.
Yeah. I still remember Chow Down at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, girl.
Probably one of the most viral.
Chow Down at
Anyone who
Chick-fil-A is
remembers that was a literal cultural shift.
Girl,
for sure.
yeah.
Right as it opened.
It was very, like, right after that, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Chow
yeah.
down at Chick-fil-A.
God.
Even if you get.
And then I still remember you can smoke out of your nose.
Out of my nostrils, yes.
And you open up the Marco fashion show
I
at the laugh
did.
song. Yes.
And you
My
opened
big
up
ass
for
was
Steel
walking down there.
Panther at the House of
Oh, my God, not
Blues.
Steel Panther.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. I actually forgot. That was like, we sure did. We were in a band called Transcontinental, and every Monday we opened up the House of Blues for Steel Panther.
Wow. And
That
then,
is wild.
And then also you had said how you worked at Beach's Madhouse.
I did work at Beach's Madhouse. I haven't worked with them in a
Yes.
long time, but that was like my first steady gig. I was there for years.
Yeah.
Traveled, toured with them.
Yeah. Because it was I remember Miley Cyrus took a lot from.
Yeah,
for the
she did. I was
weekend.
supposed to go on tour with her.
Yes.
So, okay, real talk.
Okay.
Miley wanted me and Amazon Ashley
yes.
to tour with her and be like her backup girl.
Okay. Oh, but for people who don't know, so Beach's Madhouse, I want to say back in 2008
I couldn't even tell
till
you.
2014 was like the it club that you went to, and it was inside of
Everybody
the
was
Roosevelt
in
Hotel.
there.
Everyone was there. Celebrities booth. I used to go there. Back then, I would get in because my ex-roommate's sister was best friends with Lucy Hale. So I would go hang out with all the Pretty Little Liar girls and all the CW kids, and we would
Yes.
go there. It was
Because
so
everybody
wild.
was in there.
Yeah. And they had midgets flying, or can I say? Is that, wait, is
No,
that
but
is
at the
that
time,
PC?
but
midget?
okay, but like, let me.
Little-
It's not PC, but let me
my
explain
bad.
because that's what they were called.
Yeah.
and it was also there was the
They were bartenders, and they
yes,
would pour
there was
shots.
the midget bar,
Yes.
the little people.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
But there was little Kanye, there was little Kim,
Yes.
there was little Britney, little Gaga.
There was.
Yeah. I met the little 50 Cent too.
And then they would have the.
They called
the,
him 25 Cent.
Oh my God! Yes. And then they would have the girls bash the watermelons with their boobs.
Oh
too.
yes,
You
she was
remember
there.
that?
I can't remember what her name is, but she's still doing that.
Yes.
With that-
Wild.
No,
Yeah,
that
she's still
was
doing
the
it.
it club. Like there was no party that.
Yeah, we had the world's
compares.
oldest stripper, the world's shortest stripper, the world's tallest stripper.
And not the youngest one, hopefully.
No, it was. We did not have the youngest.
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch me thinking about it? I was like, did we? No, that wasn't on the list.
They're like, oh, we got a 4-year-old
No,
from
but they
Alabama.
would fly.
Oh,
they would
my
fly
God.
the little people dressed like Oompa Loompas
Yes.
on the ceiling.
Yes, they would.
So I believe I
It was
could
a
fly.
different time.
It was a very different time.
It
You
was
could not do any of that
No,
today.
you could not. No.
Nor would we want to. But
Yeah.
we all became a really, really cool family.
Oh
that
my
worked together
God.
for
And I
years.
probably, I do. Now that I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, you probably saw me there partying.
I don't know that I saw
I was
anything
trade
because
back then. I was giving trade.
who told you that?
No, I was full blown trade.
I'm gonna need to see photos.
I will show you. I could actually show you photos, but they
You don't have
can't
to show me
see.
right now. We can save that.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
so
good.
it's
You'll
called-
gag.
To ask about FUBAR, to ask about.
Ask what about
I
FUBAR?
just said ask FUBAR, Sassy Prom.
You know, I was thinking about telling somebody that they need to bring Sassy Prom back because there was something really special about Sassy Prom in WeHo. I mean, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful, but like at the same time, it kind of needed to happen. Do you know what I mean? To
Yeah,
have,
I
like,
mean, there was like the cool kids, the
Wait, I don't remember
Weirdos,
this. Sassy prom.
okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it was basically everyone who worked in nightlife was like gave a fuck about this. But Livonia like led this with Sassy, so like they would do community outreach and stuff, and just, it was really to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
And so they would throw a prom every year, and they would have a prom king and queen, and it would be voted on, but basically be like, who's ever working the most?
Oh my God.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
Wild.
But like people would get dressed up in like prom outfits, and like there was like a whole photo situation. It was really like we would do prom at like the one I won Sassy Prom Queen at, it used to be 11, and then it was Flaming Saddles.
Yep. Flaming Sadness.
I don't know what it is now.
Empty.
Empty. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. Yeah. They were gonna like turn it into like a weed.
A weed lounge.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
That makes
no.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
We
fine.
also did it at, what was it? Here Lounge?
Yeah.
Before it became something about the Abbey.
Were you the secret blogger for WeHo Confidential?
No, I always wanted.
Remember
I
that?
actually do know who that is.
Really?
It was oh my God. I know exactly.
I got in trouble because I said some stuff. I used to have a hot mouth. I wouldn't say kind of
Yeah.
anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I've said some stuff to,
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way I found out is because I
Luke? No.
John, yeah.
Yes,
Lucas.
yes.
Yeah.
Lucas John. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. He loved me.
Yeah, but
so I loved
he also
it.
would
Oh,
have
really?
other people.
Were you
he would
ever
have
on
other
it?
people
Yeah,
on
of
it.
course.
Oh
But it was always
my
good
God.
things.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you pay his rent? And it was
How
just
do
like,
you
he's
pay
a
it?
hard worker at Mickey's every day.
Oh.
Girl, they were always coming for me on that website.
Oh my God.
Oh, I loved it. Because he'd come in and be like, oh, you want a Jack and Coke right here?
But I found that out because
sure.
I was working at FUBAR, where he would
okay.
come in and we would party.
Okay.
Wow.
So if anyone doesn't know this, WeHo Confidential was like a blog site that would talk
Blog.
shit on everybody
Everyone.
Yeah. Yes.
in the gay community.
Everyone. And
Yes.
it was not cute. It was messy.
Yeah. it was
Messy boots, bitch.
It would ruin.
Oh.
I got one of the
relationships,
most
so bad.
amazing voicemails, and I swear it was somebody that was like all up in that back then. And I have not been able to find that voicemail again. But they basically were like telling me like, we love you, Vicky. God himself weeps at the sight of you
Oh my
Oh,
God.
and
God.
uses his tears to masturbate with.
What?
I was
That's
like,
wild.
what?
What
But
the
that's
hell?
how all of that stuff was. Like, and
Uh-huh.
people would come out of left field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No,
I didn't mean to share that today.
Tell us your craziest drug experience.
Which drug?
Like the one that you first comes to mind when you're like, shit, I will never do this drug because this happened, or I will never do this because this drug made me do it? Do you have anything else that's so crazy that, because I mean, you've lived a long life.
I don't really have one. Well, I don't think I'll really do any of them again. I'm 5 years sober.
Yes.
I don't really have a plan.
Yeah.
I don't really have a plan to do any of them again on purpose. The only time I did LSD, nope, I did it several times. But the first time was not on purpose. Somebody actually dosed us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Also, you know this person.
Brian Singer.
Lord.
No, I'm just kidding.
Did you ever go to those parties?
I didn't go to like those parties, but I did go
Brian
to his
Singer?
house. Yes.
Oh, yes, that was. Yeah,
You
I've
went
been
there.
I've been to,
Yeah.
been to a couple. Back in my younger days.
I wasn't. I wasn't
I'm a
white or
little too
twink or a twink. You know,
Yeah.
I was Persian trade.
I don't know how I ended
But
up
I
there.
did go because I was friends with his boyfriend at the time, and I did go with my boyfriend. We got in a huge fight and started screaming at each other.
That makes sense.
In the middle of it was in front of everyone.
So
It
you
was wild.
accidentally did meth, which you share a similar story
Oh my
with.
God.
Oh, yes, I did accidentally do
Shayan.
meth.
Yes.
Okay, but several times.
Oh, it just kept happening by accident.
No. Each time was like,
So funny.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's fun. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I mean, don't do it.
Oh.
Please don't do it. But it was a good time for sure.
I mean, meth is
Several
the devil,
times.
but like when
So
it happened,
funny.
it happened.
Yeah. And it's so crazy how many people are actually on it. It's the most hush hush drug, but so many people in LA are on meth.
Yes,
And
I
no
used to
one
make
talks
fun of
about it.
meth for a really long time, and then all of a sudden, it was there, and I was doing it. But that was an accident.
Yeah.
And then the one time that I was making fun of meth, somebody thought I was serious and went out and got us some.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Because people like to be nice, especially when it comes to those things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I was kidding. But
It's here,
But
so
since we're
you
here.
know. When in Rome.
Also, I didn't
fuck
know
the
that that's what
Romans.
speed was.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Well, otherwise, what
I
is
thought
speed?
Coke is speed.
No, ma'am.
Oh wow.
No, ma'am.
But meth looks like Coke when you snort it. When it's like white.
just
when it's like
burns.
white powder. Yes. Yes. Oh no, it did.
It's just glass.
It did. And I literally did it and I punched a wall after. Because I was
Yeah.
like, that was a fucking amazing. I felt alive.
Okay. Also, like, I miss making bad choices.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I had some good times on the stuff.
Wait, so 5 years sober, what made you finally be like, that's it, I'm getting sober?
It had a lot to do with what the work I do now. It had
Okay.
to do with, like, I can't sit here and, like, honestly communicate with someone and their
Wow.
dead relative,
Wow.
you know, after, like, a bender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or, like,
for sure.
That's true.
sorting my way through an 8-ball.
Wow. And then you also had, if you don't mind me talking, you started your transition at that time
Oh,
too.
yes.
Same
So
time.
it was, like, all happening at the same
Yeah.
time. But I knew I was going to transition
Yeah.
way, way, way before that.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, like, convenience and
Yeah.
the right place, right time,
Yeah.
insurance. And
Yeah.
because, you know, in California, it's good to be on somebody's insurance.
Uh-huh.
So I got
For
myself on government insurance at the time
Wow.
during the pandemic,
Uh-huh.
like when it was at the height
Yeah.
of like lockdowns and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it now.
Wow.
And I'm going to get a therapist.
Wow.
There we go.
And I'm
That's
going to take
good.
my time.
That's good. Yeah, take your time.
Yeah.
For
One of
sure.
the messages that I got on ayahuasca in my meditation journey was I said, I'm no longer available to learn through pain and suffering. She said, well, then it's going to take a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I said, fine. Okay,
Yeah.
bitch. Because here we are.
Uh-huh.
And I am really taking my time
That's
at
good.
40 fucking years old transitioning.
Oh, as you should. I think everyone should, because I feel like so many people, they focus so much on the external, and that it's like you really do. It's like it is such a like, who am I? Like, what is my place in this world? When I walk in the door, how do I want to, the energy that I sort of give to people? I don't know.
Yeah, I had to unpack a lot of it.
Yeah.
I've spent the last 5 years not having to put anything on, if that makes sense. Like not having to be anyone for anybody else
right.
other than
Play a character. For
Yeah.
each, yeah.
other than a space like in my work, like a safe space and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's been really fascinating to like kind of undo it all
Yeah.
and like come undone and like
Yeah.
completely have no responsibility in how to
Yeah.
show up. Like
Yeah.
this is what I was saying when you were like pronouns. I was like, I don't care. Like at this point in my life, I might have cared before. Might have been a little sensitive. But like now, whatever you see is what you see. Like I clearly, if I cared, then I should try.
Yeah. You had to strip the vanity and the ego.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
either try harder or care less is how I feel.
I love that.
So like,
I want a shirt that says that.
try harder or care less. Because if I gave a fuck about how you see me, then I should try harder.
Yeah. Damn.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
Because then you should be able to read it. Like if it's not clearly communicated.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
We talked about that before. It's just, it's like, is it your job to teach people or not? You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
if I'm getting paid, yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying me,
Yeah.
I'm not here to teach you. I mean, I'll learn you a lesson, but I'm not here
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I am from Jersey. I will learn you a lesson.
If you don't like, what about like when, let's say, entering a space that doesn't necessarily welcome you? Are you open to going in those spaces and educating people in that sense of like, this is who I am, and you might not.
Yeah,
know
can we
a
talk
person.
about that for real?
I'm curious.
Because, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I
No,
just
I
got
love
really
it.
excited.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's actually a position I have been in most of my fucking life.
Wow.
I've been the first kind of person to do this. I've been,
Right. Yeah.
or I walk into a room and it's
Mm-hmm.
y'all very straight. Y'all don't know nothing about my
Yeah,
life. I actually
yeah.
have to fix how I speak to you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can't talk to anybody just any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
And even
Yeah.
with clients, I have to be like very specific.
Right.
I have found the best way to teach people
Okay.
is not even to have a conversation. Just exist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna exist. If you have a
100%.
question, you'll ask me.
100%.
And if you
But I'm
don't
just gonna
ask,
be
then-
over here because
you know.
I'm not gonna be on the offense.
Mhm.
I got a good defense, bitch.
Yeah. 100%.
You know?
I agree. Yeah.
I'm not. You'll ask. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, and that's also because I grew up like I was a child,
Mhm.
and people were telling me that I was like a little girl because my voice was really high.
Mhm.
Little girl, do you want anything? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, like all the time, people were telling me what gender I was, and then
Yeah.
before I even knew,
Uh-huh.
my whole life. And then as I got older, people were gendering me however they want. They would look at my passport and go right ahead, ma'am.
Yeah.
This is when it was like full male.
Yeah.
And I had
yeah,
like
yeah.
beard, like dense as fuck. My Moroccan ass beard was just there.
Uh-huh.
And they'd be like, go ahead, ma'am.
Oh.
So like it for me, and that's what I'm saying is it's always been just like show up. You don't have to
Yeah.
teach them.
Yeah.
You can, but like
Yeah.
they'll ask. But that also goes with the work I do now. It's like, because I'm a psychic. So I know a lot of stuff. You might say something, I hear a whole novel. The Akashic record comes flooding through
Wow.
when you talk about stuff. But you didn't ask me a question.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you. That's not my business.
Huh.
Yes, can I see it? Yes. Do I know things I don't need to know? Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't ask me though. And if I tell you, or if I like, try to teach you, whatever it is, you're not going to receive it. The same way as like you can't take somebody to rehab if they're not ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. 100%.
That's true.
I actually thought about, while I was talking and running my mouth, I thought about there was one that I did not mean to do that I would not do again. Because I was supposed to save it till I was 95.
Okay.
Heroin.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
That
How was
wasn't on purpose. Well, it was. At the time, it was. But looking back, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was a pill.
I mean-
it was a pill though.
A pill form.
okay.
Oh,
no,
you
I didn't
say that.
shoot it.
Damn.
Wow. How was it?
I mean,
Amazing.
That's one of those
It was
ones
an
where
experience.
you can take
Yeah.
it once and that's it. Like
That's it.
you're hooked,
well,
right?
or you don't stop taking it. So like,
yeah. It's a one and done.
it's a one and done either way.
Because it's
Yeah.
so euphoric, right?
It was very euphoric.
Wow.
I'm trying not to like romance.
Oh yeah, my bad,
Right.
my bad. Cancel.
Not on camera anyway. We can talk about that later.
You're like, oh yeah.
We'll take a
that's
quick
the one I
second to do our coming in hot segment.
Yay.
All right. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by water.
Are you a thirsty little minion? Quench your thirst with water.
All right. So the first question we have is from someone anonymous who sent it in on Instagram. So send us your questions literally anywhere and we'll get them. It says, we've heard you both talk about your worst hookups, but what are the best grinder hookups? Which ones have made you keep coming back for more.
Uh-oh.
Good play on word. I like that. You want to take this one?
I mean, I don't meet guys off of Grindr. I usually yeah. I mean, I'm mainly
I remember Patrick.
Who?
Patty Wag.
No, he was off Tinder.
Oh.
No, I've always been like a Tinder, Hinge, Bumble kind of girl.
Oh, you classy.
Oh, you're classy. Yeah.
Never a Grindr girl. But I honestly, no sex beats making love. There's a huge difference between like fucking and like looking into someone's eyes and being like, I love you. Like that's what I like.
Kidding.
Right? Me and her are the same. Because I would say my best Grindr experiences are the ones that end and they just leave.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones that's like, we both busted, get up and go. There's almost no need for conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I want you to come back, I'll send you my number on the app. Like some of the worst ones are like, they'll sit there and they'll wait for your number. Like, oh, you're going to text me? And I'm like,
absolutely not.
Oh shit. Like I thought this was, a thing. Then I have to deal with like, the breakup over the next 2 days.
See, and I'm usually that
but
person.
We're not trying to talk about the worst experience. We're talking about the best ones.
Yeah.
So I'd say the best ones are the ones that go exactly how you plan it in your head. You know what I mean? If you want a face down, ass up scenario and you get it, boom. And there, you don't got to smell anything or wash up after. That's for me. What about you?
Yeah, but I don't mind. Sometimes the story is worth it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh, that's why
Sometimes
Shayan was drinking so much. We're like, you need to keep drinking so we can have more podcast
Yes.
content.
You need content.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't on an app. It was Craigslist days.
Oh my God, I remember that.
It was
day.
Craigslist days.
You would have to. This was before Grindr, right?
Yeah, it was called Missing Connection.
You'd be getting ready. You'd have to post the ad up, and then by the end of the night, check your email, make sure you got your hookup,
and
map quests your way
I think
there.
That's where it was from.
Adam for Adam,
maybe. But there was this one, convict.
Ooh.
I had a type.
Yeah,
I had a type.
I like that.
And like sent a black car. And then I was like, where am I going? Mind you, it's like 5 a.m. because I'm like just leaving a party.
And back then you couldn't just order there was no Uber or anything.
No.
Yeah. You can't just order it. Yeah.
He'd
have to call. Yeah.
Sent the car.
Wow.
So I'm like, where am I? I pull up and it's like warehouses. And I'm like freaking out, but I'm also like kind of out of my gourd, so it's fine. And I'm like, everything's ready to go. She has her little thotty thot bobbing around, short ass. Everything's ready to go. And I walk. Mind you, I'm also in giant black pleasers and like a blue cotton candy wig.
Okay.
And this man opened up the door of this warehouse because he was growing cannabis.
Oh.
Wow.
And so like we were in the offices, we were in the everything, and it was just him, this Armenian man.
Oh, okay.
This Armenian man. I'm just thinking about it now.
It was too good.
It's getting a little hot.
Yeah, it was very good. It was
Can
very
we get
good.
a towel to mop up the floor real quick?
Because it was several many times over the course of however, because he liked the thick girl.
Yes.
He liked to grab onto the fat and like jiggle it. And people, they tell you there's somebody for everybody.
Yep, for sure.
But I would say probably 90% of people prefer,
Well, not to interrupt, but Shayan and I talk about it's crazy because you'll watch my 600-pound life, and each one of them got a husband.
Yes, I love my 600-pound life. Don't play with me. And 1,000-pound sisters. And I'm like, how do y'all have? But like, and here I am.
And I used to be 70 pounds heavier. Trade.
That's it.
So
Boots.
true.
But
Boots.
But I want to hear your story. We can get off that. So you go to the weed place.
So I never had a problem getting a man being fat. The point was, I'm in there. This man is like telling me he's gonna give me a house.
Oh.
That kind
Painting
of
a fantasy.
His wife's gonna be in the one house. He's got another house that I can stay in.
What's his name? Like Artska or something? Like very Armenian.
I actually don't remember his name. He was in my phone for a while.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think it was probably under Daddy.
Like
no T. It was probably under Daddy.
Daddy Sarkeesian.
Then he ended up.
The IAN or the YAN.
I mean, it was very nice because I spent the whole time we were together in just my wig and my heels.
Oh, period.
And he would like smoke a cigar while it was going on.
Oh,
too.
I
Like
love
it
that.
was very that.
There we go.
And this man drove me home and was like, "We got to keep doing this." Like he was really like, he was like, "I have to take you to I have to take you home."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We stayed in contact for years, even to the point when he was in jail. I was getting jail selfies.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
And we were sexting and stuff while he was
That's wild.
locked up. And he was asking me to put money on his books and stuff.
Oh, period.
And did you?
Yeah, because he was going to buy my tits.
Oh.
Wow.
Wait. Have you had any surgeries?
No.
No? Oh, shit.
Oh,
you
period.
wanted tits at some point and then
Yeah.
just kind of like, no?
No, listen, I told him really taking my time.
Yeah.
I made him pumped with silicone.
Oh, okay. She made that Mexico
Silicone.
trip.
Oh my
Well,
God,
no,
I love
yes.
it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. There's $9,000.
So wait,
I mean,
whatever
you can't really tell
happened to
now,
him?
but there's $9,000 of silicone in my ass.
Damn, that's wild.
Wow.
Wait,
So wait, whatever happened to him?
I don't know. After the last time he was locked up,
Oh,
we kind of fell out.
really?
Okay.
But it was worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't have no quick answer for you. I had to relive it.
No, you're
Thank
good.
you.
You're good. I love it.
It's been a while.
the
Did
second
did he leave you on red or what?
I left him on red
Oh,
okay.
period. Okay.
because I realized why he was in there.
Oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
It was drug stuff.
Oh, okay. Not like a Chris
was
Brown
like,
story or
oh,
anything?
No, not at all.
Okay.
A little bit of arson. Never hurt nobody.
The second
No, I'm Italian, honey. That's just for insurance money.
Lord.
Yes.
The second question we have here is from a straight viewer, which we love those. We encourage those.
Yes.
Before your transition, is it more common for trans people to be attracted to the same sex or the opposite? I'll let you guys take this one because I'm not transitioning until next year.
I feel like it's a phenomenon.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say something, and it might be controversial.
No,
But from what I have experienced and what I've lived on my 40 years on this earth, the truly trans dolls, and I say that because I'm saying what I'm saying, are usually attracted to like the butch, the stud, the straight men. And if they're lesbian, like if I'm talking about like male to female transition, then they will absolutely, because you know, if some folks, like I'm not fucking one of us. There's something like they are a full blown sissy faggot, and then turn around and then they're a full bull DACA. You know, but those are gonna be with like attracts like.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, again, like, it has nothing to necessarily do with sexuality, but everything to do with gender. Because I dated guys and girls before I transitioned.
That's what I'm saying.
And I felt like once I transitioned, there was, especially a lot of dolls would be very like, in order to be trans, you have to have this, and you have to look like this, and you have to be like this, and you have to date this, and he's a faggot, don't date him, and blah blah blah. And I felt this constant need to really, because outside of this podcast, I look like a lesbian.
Yes.
No, literally. Full blown, I look like a skater dude. Like, it's basically how I look outside of this. This is definitely one of those characters for sure. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I felt like for the longest time in the beginning of my transition, I had to really prove my womanhood. So I had to always go after the most manly guy in the room. And then I realized I'm just not attracted to that. It's just so whatever.
Awful.
It's just so boring.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, the more I've gotten comfortable with myself, and I'm like, you know what? No one's gonna validate my femininity. I validate my own who I am as a woman.
Yes.
And that's it. That was sort of a moment where I'm like, okay, I don't have to wear the bodycon dresses all the time. I don't have to be full geesh and all that all the time, because this doesn't define who I am.
Yeah.
And then that was sort of a moment where then I was able to sort of go and explore, you know, maybe I might want to, you know, hook up with a girl, or maybe I might want to, and that's not going to make me male, you know.
Right.
It's just, So I think exploring, yourself and not just like, going to what society is telling you is very, very important.
Yeah. I think that comes with the whole journey.
Yeah, for sure.
You end up way queerer on the other side of things.
No, and there was such a moment in my transition where I was just like this, girl, like, oh my God, I'm like this, whatever, this like Barbie to like these men. And then it got to a point where I was like, this is so boring. And this is so not who I am all the time. And I felt like I had to act. And I didn't like that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say that like before transition, I have found, and I'm only really speaking for male to female. I will not speak on other people's experience that I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I say.
That's not my.
That's why I'm quiet.
That's why when they say, like when they say like children who transition, I transition as an adult. I can't speak on that. Exactly.
That's not my ministry.
Exactly. Yes.
I will say that it's more common for like after like post transition to see them with even gayer men, like more effeminate men, than pre-transition.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like I feel like they're not going to fuck the faggots and the baguettes and all of this, but they will absolutely.
Yeah.
After.
I didn't really date anyone pre-transition, so mine may.
I mean, I still don't date.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Oh yeah, nice.
Just have ex-convicts.
But don't forget to send us in your questions on any form or channel. So why don't you tell us what your love life looks like these days? Since
My
you
love
said
life?
You do not have a twin flame, but we
I
can't
don't.
have you dying alone though. So.
Oh, but I feel like, okay, first of all, I don't know that I'm going to die.
Okay.
Oh wow.
First of all.
Okay.
Because, and this is just my own little want. First of all, there's the quantum theory of like immortality that I was explaining earlier. Like you don't actually die.
Yeah.
Second,
The energy never dies. Only the ego dies.
and the body dies.
Yes.
But like that's fine. I don't need it. I could use a different one anyway. I don't really want to work this one out. I don't really want to do all that.
No.
It's a lot. I got it here and I don't want to get it anywhere else. Anyway, the point being that there are monks that like just sit in meditation and drift off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And their bodies are still preserved. I've seen that. I go to Thailand quite often.
Yeah,
so
this is what I'm talking about. So like I might just choose one day that like we're going to go do something else. But I don't think I'm going to die. And I don't know that has to be for everyone.
Okay.
You know, I think that because we live, we decide that because we were born that we have to die. Like,
interesting.
I don't know that that's true. I think it's, kind of what we believe. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm supposed to be with anyone.
Okay. All right. That works then.
You know? I wanted a family when I was younger. I don't really care now.
Do you miss the whole life?
I do. Sometimes I really do.
Yeah.
I wish Shayan would get back into her whole life.
I know. He wants me to be a hoe again. I've been so asexual lately. It's wild.
I know, but like, how you doing though? You know?
How I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to get back into the whole life just for the good stories and like the craziness. But I don't know. Lately, I've just felt very like I've always chased after chaos. And I get scared of myself that like right now in my life, things are going really well, but I'm getting really anxious because I'm like, at any point I can just turn and just go down a crazy, crazy path for sure.
Aries, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So So that's my thing. My problem is I get bored easily. And when I get bored easily, I go after chaos. And that chaos has never really served me. It makes for great stories on the podcast.
Yeah.
But also now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I feel almost this responsibility of like, I don't want to lose the good stuff that I've created for myself this year.
Yeah.
So I really want to protect that. But I'm also like, oh, I don't know.
I mean, I also feel like the world does not, I mean, this is going to be such a hokey answer, but like the world does not validate enough platonic relationships.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're all supported by platonic relationships.
Yeah, I think that's
like they can be so intimate.
We were talking about where like in Asian countries, best friends marry themselves, each other, not themselves, each other, because like that's like who they want to spend the rest of their life with, their best friend. It's not even a sexual thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can see that.
When I was in middle school, this was before I knew anything about the world. And I was like, didn't know anything about myself either. I said, and I wrote this down in like a journal, that I wanted to have a double marriage. So it could be like everybody got married, but like we married each other's persons. Because it wasn't a thing at the time to like have even gay marriage.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like, well, I'll marry yours and we're all friends. And then you marry mine and then like we can all be together.
Live together
Oh, okay.
in like a duplex.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
That was like when I was like in middle school
Oh my
when I wrote this out.
God.
And I was going to have all these children and adopt them. And
Oh.
Okay. So like a very Utah
Well, that's
lifestyle.
but that's actually very much how older tribes used to be.
Yeah.
It was, you would raise a child as a community.
yeah,
And
mean, I've
everyone
always
had a
been this.
role. Yeah. Everyone had a role. The trans women had the role, the this, that. Oh, it was all there until religion came in and, you know, they wanted to control people. You know, they take something good and they want to use it to control people. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So she wants to be a hoe again, everyone.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I will be a hoe for the right price. And it's got to be the right time. Also, like, I want to do it on purpose. I was really willy-nilly before in my life, like really willy-nilly. I only got like a couple STDs.
Oh.
Okay.
They were fine.
Yeah.
All curable.
Curable.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Right.
Little
Curable.
shot, little, you know,
Yeah.
round of antibiotics.
So I'm like, I really made it out of that.
Oh, period.
But like, if I do end up with someone, they're gonna have to be like, have nothing to do with anything I do in my life. We're gonna have separate houses. I want you to be confident and secure
Yeah.
and over there. And we can hang out when we hang out, and we can be together when we're together, and it's great.
Yeah.
But leave me the fuck alone.
Wow.
So backtracking to what you said earlier, when you said that you don't believe you have a twin flame,
I don't.
do you think that if you were to find someone to be with, they would also not have a twin flame? Because basically, what I gathered from that is someone who has a twin flame is basically looking for someone to complete them because their soul's split in half to come together. So in your world, because I can actually, I see you and I actually relate to that because I personally don't believe in twin flames. You know what I mean? I believe that like, I'm like a lone wolf, I guess you'd say. You know what I mean? I'm my own person. I like living alone. I do everything on my own. But I do aspire to have someone. You know what I mean? But I don't like the idea of someone saying, you complete me, you this. Like, no, I want a
can't stand
whole...
that language.
Yeah, I want a whole ass human that like is completely autonomous, operates on their own. Just like you said, we get together. So like...
So you got that.
Yeah, and I love that. So that's my thing is like, in order to find that person, I need to find someone who doesn't have a twin flame, essentially. I need to find someone
because
who came straight from... Right?
I hear you. But also, like, I'm really
Because I don't want
open
that
to
person to always be looking for their twin flame when I've already found them.
But they
know?
might, like I was saying earlier, it might be a twin flame that's like not romantic.
Okay.
Like they could be like that one friend, like you. You know how I think everybody has one of these friends where like when y'all get together, absolute calamity ensues. And it's also the best and the worst of times, but like
I would say Harrison. She hates him. Harrison. I have this guy, and I'm gonna. We haven't even talked about this. I'm gonna say his name, and I'm gonna tell him about saying his name. But there's someone who has always kind of come back in and out of my life. His name's Harrison. He's a complete fucking disaster. He's sexy as shit. 6'5", played college football, still plays college football. 26. I don't know how he gets away with it. But every time we've hung out, he's almost killed me like twice because he likes to wrestle and fight. And then he gets his ego in the way and just choked me out. Broke every piece of furniture in my house.
Literally.
Shayan has been there. It has been
really scary.
wild. I've bailed him out of jail. I've done everything. But like we talk every single fucking day. And like, but he's straight. He's like, it's never been a sexual thing. But like
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? But like we talk, like he'll be taking a shit and he'll call me and I'm like, boy, you taking a shit? And he's like, yeah, you know, and like, it's just so I could see that being that, you know what I mean? But if I do anything or even mention anything gay, it'll be like, I'm not gay. And I'm like, bro, it ain't even got to be about that.
Yeah.
But
everybody's a little bit gay.
Everybody's a little bit gay. We just talked about this. Everyone's a little bit trans and everyone's a little bit gay. We said that off camera, so now we could say it on camera. But
thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's true. I believe it's true. The same thing. I think everybody does drag. They just don't know it.
Yeah. For sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody does drag.
I love that.
Every time you get dressed up to present who you want to be to the world, baby, that's drag.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's drag.
Yeah. For
Some
sure.
people just get paid to do it.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And I feel like also people should like play around and experience,
Yes.
the idea of why play with one color in the box, play with all the colors,
Yeah.
Try it, figure it out, really explore yourself.
Yes, this is what I was saying when you were talking about, like, what if they don't have, or like, do they have to have, what if they have a twin flame and I don't?
Mm-hmm.
That may be the case, but also, like, how would you define your relationship? Does it have to be monogamous? Can we be ethically non-monogamous?
Absolutely. That's my thing too. I personally don't believe humans are monogamous. I don't think as a species we're meant to be monogamous.
I understand, like, that's for some people.
Yeah.
But I'm the kind, like, tell me about it.
Ooh, see, let's get
Like,
into it.
Tell
because
me about it, because especially if it's with like we were saying, I don't want that crazy motherfucker over here. I love everybody, but your crazy cannot affect my day.
Okay.
The minute it
Right.
affects my day, we have a problem.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
You can be
Right.
insane just over there.
But when you said tell me about it, you're saying that if you were to be with someone, you want them to tell you about their experience.
I want you to tell me that it's about to happen.
Okay, see, and here's the thing is I thought that with Brant. I was like, you know what? I'm all about it. I'm open. I'm the cool dad. You know what I mean? I was like, tell me all about it. Then he started telling me things that we don't even do ourselves, and I started noticing that I would get like I don't know if it was jealous or just like, damn, you don't even do that with me, So I was like, you know what?
Yes.
Don't tell me about
Yes.
it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
wait, you did that? We haven't even done that yet. So I was like, you know what?
I don't know that I need details.
Yeah, that's my thing. I thought it would be cool, and I was like, yeah, tell me how hot, and maybe I'll jerk off to it or something. But like, no, it ended up being like, damn, I didn't do that with me. Why didn't you do that with me? You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, you know what? How about you do your thing, and then just like, don't get any STDs.
But I need to know that you're doing your thing. Like I want to know the body count.
See, I just want to make sure you're in my bed at the end of the night. I don't give a
I don't
shit
want
about-
you in my bed. That's the thing.
Oh,
Please go
you
be
want
in your own bed.
house.
Wow.
But I want to know what you're doing. I want you to tell me about
I'm a little cuddle puddle, but
it. Oh, are you?
a little bit.
I'm
Yeah,
hot.
it's
Get
more.
away
It's
from me.
recent. It's a recent thing. I never used to be. I get hot too, but I
No,
put the
get
ceiling
away
fan
from
on
me.
blast.
No, I'm not a cuddler, but I mean, you have to be in my bed for sure.
Really?
I have to be able to see them at all times.
Well, hers is different.
I feel
She's the antithesis of you and
Yeah,
I.
opposite.
100%.
I feel like we might need to talk about that.
Yeah, she needs
Well,
them.
you brought your cards.
She
I did.
Well, we're gonna do that instead of game night tonight.
Oh, yeah,
We're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Wait, y'all play games?
Yeah, well, we can do
We can play
too.
games. We can do whatever you want.
Bullshit. I don't get invited to game night, but I gotta work.
Oh,
just
shit.
kidding,
We'll
I'm
put you in
kidding.
game night, but game nights aren't always fun. I'll tell you right now. When we're playing Bean Boozled,
Oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
when
Yeah.
you eat the jelly beans,
but
that
you can see.
tastes like black tar heroin.
Oh, it's crazy.
Uh-oh.
Or stinky socks. That
No,
one
thank
was
you.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
well,
wild.
we could kind of segue into some sexuals. Do you have any fetishes or fantasies? I know you've lived a wild life.
Yeah,
but
I have lived a really wild life. I think I've lived them out
that's what I say
Yeah.
too.
until
But
I
there's
find
always
like a new
something.
one.
Yeah, it's so fucking
Like, I was-
funny.
I don't want to tell everybody all my business. But once upon a time, and I think all my friends knew at the time, but there was this MMA fighter
Mhm.
Oh.
Well, we've all had one of those.
We've all had
Let's
one
hear
of
that.
those. For
was
sure.
also like into being naked while he worked out and I ate. I was just telling somebody about this. the other
Like you
day.
ate food.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
you all like feeder content type
Oh
shit.
wow.
Yeah. But he wasn't like feeder. He just
Well, he worked
that
out.
particular time.
Like you worked
Yeah.
out. He worked out. And you sat and ate.
We just had to fulfill a fetish recently. It was that was.
Oh, last night.
Yeah, it was this guy. He wanted me to look into the camera and basically, as if I'm talking to him, and ask him, "Are you ready to die?" And
For your
took,
goddess.
or for your goddess, take a plastic bag, put it over the phone, tie it with a zip tie, and then I had to sit and flip through a magazine, any magazine, and just
No, not any mag. So he's actually
right.
very specific. So the
Oh, wait,
magazine had to have a pretty girl on it,
Oh,
like a
right,
Cosmo.
right.
And yes.
And he wanted to pretend that he was the pretty girl on the magazine.
No, he wanted to pretend that he was the magazine because
Oh,
the
right.
idea was he wanted to be thrown away when you were done.
Yes.
So he
that
wanted
makes
you
sense.
to throw him away as if the magazine. So basically,
Yes.
we had to put the bag over it. She had to sit there for 5 whole minutes, flipping through the magazine.
Yeah.
While he stared through the bag, and then he slowly slipped away.
This is so specific.
Yep,
So
very, very
specific.
specific. Paid good money for this, by the
Yeah.
way. As he slowly slipped away, she puts the magazine down and says, "You're just as pathetic as this magazine is." And she's to throw the magazine
And I had to
away.
laugh.
And
Like,
laugh.
ha ha.
They
And I
usually
did
like
my
that.
ha ha.
Very specific,
Yeah.
but you know, it was interesting. But
Yeah.
we can do an entire episode based on fetishes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I used to have this one guy. We never met up, but he would always ask me for videos of like full face, but he just wanted the lips smoking a cigarette.
Wow.
Interesting.
And then he would send me a video of him completely jacking it, but like with rubber gloves on.
I wonder where these fetishes come from.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious. Sometimes I'd like to say I don't do things for the plot, but I absolutely will.
Yeah. And it's weird because I feel like society always paints the LGBT people as the fucked up people.
I'm telling you,
That
I
is
don't
a
have.
lie.
I don't
it's
have.
the straight people with all the
Yeah.
crazy
it's true.
fetishes and shit.
Yeah.
They are the ones
Because
that
they're
are like,
suppressed
yes.
and oppressed. Get it
Yeah.
together,
No.
y'all.
All the gays are like,
Totally.
we did that when I was like 19, 20.
Well, not even
You know
that.
what I
It's
mean?
just like, oh, I don't want to, like, let's just fuck, and that's it. But no, they're like, yes.
Well, you
No,
never
I mean,
know,
I've done
though.
some wild stuff.
I've done some wild stuff too. It's always the young ones though. They want to be choked out. They want to
Yeah.
be fisted. They want to be this. They want to be that.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
crazy.
once you've done it a couple of times, like, spit in my mouth, okay?
Yeah.
Literally.
I don't think that's wild, but like reading someone and pretending they're like boot goo in a magazine is like, that's wild to me. Like getting,
It's specific.
yeah.
It's specific, and I feel like, they might need to see a therapist.
Yeah. I wonder where
And you're
it's
probably
from.
just gonna
I'm
watch this.
so curious.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a-
no, they
I'm a
usually,
great life
but they
coach.
usually like when they're humiliated. That's part
Yeah.
of a kink. So
I actually walked out on someone with, I was about to say a lot of my business.
oh yeah, say it.
Oh, this is weird.
While they were in my mouth,
Oh, weird.
they had said some shit, like humiliating stuff. And this is when I was like really young, and this man was like really old, back in Jersey before I left home. And he said some stuff. I said, okay. And I got out of there. I said, that's enough of that. Because it was like, can my friends come and da-da-da, you think that's hot? And I was like, listen, that's enough. And he was like, he was calling me a faggot. Well, I'm like, I could bite on this. And you wanted to keep this up?
Yeah.
This is not fun for me.
Yeah.
So I left immediately.
Wow.
Just left him there. And he was cussing at me.
Well, Shayan, we've all
Outside.
heard her story, but tell her about your favorite story.
Which
Wait, have you ever bit a dick?
bit a dick? I mean, probably by accident. Yeah, all the time.
She hates sucking dick. So.
Well, no, it depends.
No, I mean, have you bit a dick?
Never.
I bit one of our friends' dick once.
Well,
Oh,
oh,
really?
like on purpose, like
Yeah,
intentionally.
he put it in my mouth in front of everybody, so I bit it.
Oh, yeah, no,
Damn.
not intentionally. Like probably
I'll
by
tell you that it's later.
accident. I bet it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they have it coming.
But you actually like full
Damn.
chomp.
Well, I didn't try to draw blood. I was just proving a point. Like, get this out of my face. I'm in the living room.
Oh no!
You just
poor
randomly did
Matt.
that.
I'm just kidding.
I don't even know when or why or
Channing Tatum.
how. Could you? He would be the kind.
Yeah, really.
He would be the kind. He's actually that
How?
kind of
What did it
footloose
get?
and fancy free.
What-
One
what
of the
did it get?
kindest humans.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
All of them
God.
were on that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Joe Magnola was hilarious.
They had already gotten rid of Alex Pettyfer because I heard Alex Pettyfer was a disaster to work
And nobody
with.
that was
No
there
one
with
fucked
me
with
was
him.
no, because I was even working with Amber Heard and she was lovely.
Controversial talk. I feel bad for Amber Heard. I really do.
I don't know enough
feel
about her to
bad.
speak on her like
Yeah.
that.
I know I don't know her, but I just feel bad. I mean, the way the internet just destroyed that woman, it really. I mean, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucked.
I don't feel bad when men get it though.
Eh.
Because like when men get destroyed, because I don't feel bad because they do it to women so much more.
Yeah.
They bring them up and they tear them down. They bring them up and they tear them down.
And they
And then you
always
get
get
people
away
like
with it.
Robert Downey Jr., God bless him, fucking shit show. Is
Right.
nothing but exalted.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exonerated?
And
saying?
a woman is just
No, I mean
yeah,
exalted,
destroyed.
like raised up.
I just hate how they will just destroy a woman completely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Completely. To the point of just like, that's just crazy. Like, they act like she like murdered a child or something. Like, she didn't do any, like, you know what I mean?
Okay,
like,
so this completely ties into the conversation we were just having about kinks because I feel like this is exactly why the men want to be dominated.
because, okay,
Because socially it
they have
doesn't
so
happen.
much power. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we talked about, because they want to go back to that submissive state when
Yeah,
they were
they
children.
want to be told what to do.
No, for sure. Because they're like usually CEOs. They're always, yeah. It's kind of wild. It is crazy. It's also the same reason why people look at someone like Elon Musk and they're just like, well, he worked hard, but then it's like Taylor Swift. Well, she sold her soul to the devil. And so you can't just say a woman worked hard for once, it's crazy. Yeah.
I thought about selling my soul to the devil. It didn't work for me.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't work. I didn't drink the golden juice.
Really? It was offered to you.
Well, it was kind of like I just never bought into any of it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I was around all of it. I just never bought. Can you stop stroking the mic stand like that? Are you okay? You working some stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
I just never bought into it.
Yeah. Well, because you've lived out here for a really long time and you've been in the industry a lot. Is there
I did a lot of stuff.
A specific person or a specific moment where you just remember very evil energy or dark energy?
Oh my God, so often. But then I was always called crazy, and I don't want to really name names, but like I was always called crazy.
Names. I love names.
The most important part is like for me, I was really lucky because I was like on the cusp. Like if I had said yes to certain things, or if I had gone to certain parties, I know my life would be really different right now.
Really?
I'd probably be really successful, but I said nah.
At what cost?
I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of dark shit.
A lot of dark shit.
Like what?
Well, I will. Let's just one thing say human trafficking. There was all kinds of like, oh yeah, people paying for people and like, yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. That's
that kind of
wild.
stuff. But like that in itself is really common in the industry
For sure.
as like talent. Like you're also being trafficked.
Yeah.
Like as talent, you are trafficked.
Right.
So like for them, the line is so blurred that like, yeah, go with them, go to this party.
Yeah.
We need to get this contract.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
You know what's interesting is like I had a client actually, and he ended up jumping out of the 22nd floor of a building. I met him through Heidi Fleiss when I accidentally did meth. And he went to Epstein Island. And I asked him, I said, why? He dated, beautiful women. Like he had every woman at his, like every girl wanted him basically because he was rich as hell. Why? And he said, because when you get to a certain place, you want to see how far your money can go.
For sure.
Yes.
And how it can get you out of any situation. And they get off on the idea that because I have so much money and so much power, no one can control me. I have the complete control and I can go do whatever the fuck I want.
It's also just about being weird.
Yes, it's so weird. And there were so many, I've always wanted to talk on this. There's so many conspiracy theories with him, and he was a horrible person. I don't.
Did the checks cash?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then?
He was not a good person at all.
Steve Bean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel bad. I didn't want to say his
Rest
name
his
just
hole.
because he does have a child out there, and like I would hate for a child to like know, oh
Y'all
shit,
can bleep
like,
that, right?
Yeah, let's bleep that. Please.
Yeah, let's bleep that name.
But it's wild. You know, he would be on the phone with a very important person. I'll bleep this. The Kennedy. Not Kennedy. I'm sorry. Fucking what's his name?
Obama?
No. The one before him.
Bush?
Clinton. Yes. And I remember they were on the phone and they were talking about how they were pissed off because they told Van Jones of CNN to spin the story a certain way to make Trump look bad. And this is while, they were pushing for Hillary. This is all during 2020.
This is stuff I'm talking about.
And he, I guess, just took the money and didn't do what he said he was going to do. And there was nothing that they could do about it. And I heard the whole conversation on the phone. And then it was crazy because 4 months after that, he jumped to his death. And I'm like, there's no way. And people were like, oh, well, he like what? No, he was living his best life. He was so happy.
Girl, they got him, girl.
And it was crazy because that was around the time where all the QAnon stuff and all the conspiracy theories were coming out. And I remember specifically the guy said, everyone jumps to their death. or they,
Girl,
whatever.
she literally called me saying that she was gonna die.
I was like freaking
like
out.
she like it was like
yeah.
I was like,
It's wild.
I'm glad you're
I was
still
like,
here.
don't be
Yeah,
calling me, bitch.
No, it was wild because I was
Don't
just
put
like,
me in your book.
they're gonna trace
because
this number
it was
back.
all during. It was like all this stuff happening, and I'm like, oh my god, I like kind of had a little bit of insight to
But
it.
this is also why I said when you go down those rabbit holes,
Yes.
be very careful.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it definitely scared the fuck out of me, for sure. And I was, I'm terrified for
I think the weirdest one, now I'm thinking about it, was to know that, what is it, Bohemian Grove
What's that?
is real.
What is that?
What is that? I don't know what that is.
Where they have
tell
like
us.
meetings of like, with this big owl.
Bohemian?
Oh,
what I'm
like an
talking about?
Illuminati meeting?
Yeah, but like not Illuminati, but they call it the Illuminati, but it's not.
Okay.
People in it wouldn't be Illuminati.
Okay.
But they go and they have these rituals and ceremonies and stuff.
Wow.
I'll have to look into it.
It's very real.
Yeah. No, I get.
I was actually a friend of a friend.
Uh-huh.
Say a friend of a friend
Uh-huh.
was waiting to be kidnapped.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We used to joke about it, but they were serious.
Wow.
damn.
That's so wild. Okay, so question. As far as being a medium,
Yeah.
how does that work? Like, do they come to you, or do you have to like, or if you're trying to go to bed, are they like all talking
Oh,
to
yeah,
you
that
and you're
happens.
like, oh girl, be quiet. It's nap time.
Have you ever Jesus, slow down.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The energy just got real intense because we were talking about
shit.
mediumship,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I felt it like I had to sit up and. When you're falling asleep, have you ever like seen faces in the
Yes.
darkness of like closed eyes? That's
Well, it's so I get goosebumps now because I was going to bring this up earlier in the conversation. So there's these studies now, and I think I brought it up lightly on a previous episode where they say that the human brain is incapable of creating faces out of nothing. So any face you see in a dream, you've seen somewhere. Like, doesn't matter, subconsciously, possibly in another universe or another parallel life. The human brain is physically incapable of making up faces. So any faces that you've seen,
any originality, everything is taken.
anything
from
that you've
something.
seen in a dream, you've seen that face somewhere, and that's the craziest thing. So going back to what you were saying is like, yeah, like when you see these faces, if you can't specifically remember them and they're happen to die 100 years ago, you've seen them somehow. You know what I mean? Like,
isn't that wild?
yeah, it's really crazy. Like,
Wow.
it's like a factual study too. I'm not like pulling shit out of the ass. Google it.
That's
But,
I believe that. I believe that because it's so specific sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's a piece of it. I mean, there's a difference between like psychic abilities and mediumship.
Okay.
Like psychic abilities is how you receive the information.
Okay.
Like your clairs, like the 5 basic ones are like clairaudience, which is when you hear stuff. Clairsentience is just knowing things, like your body just knows stuff. You can the sight. Clairvoyance, and then you can smell. Sometimes you taste things. All of this. If it's a physical sense, it's also a spiritual sense.
Okay.
For me, my mediumship. So like your intuition leads you to all of this. So like intuition is your GPS to get the information.
Right.
Then you have your psychic abilities, which is how you interact with the information.
Okay.
And then you have mediumship, which is like the communication with spirits.
Okay.
And not just people spirits. Like I've had full conversations with a tree once.
Yeah.
His name was Grenville.
Whoa.
And he allowed me to take his sap, and I gave him an offering of water.
Oh.
Yeah. So like, you could talk pet psychics. They will communicate in mediumship with animals. And then you can also, I've spoken with dragon consciousness. Consciousness from not here. At one point, before I knew what it was, often they may not give you a name. Sometimes they give you a name. It was Ka. I was like speaking with this consciousness called Ka, and I was like sitting up, meditating, and was channeling this information and recorded it. And like I was communicating with Ka, and I didn't know what it was, and I didn't look it up. But like they gave me a lot of really great information about spirit and all of this stuff. And so I eventually was like, let me look this up, because I always write it down. Because I feel like writing things down physically makes things manifest.
Yeah,
For sure.
seriously. When you wake up, if you had a dream that you're not supposed to move at all, you're supposed to literally just lean over, write it down before, because the second you start moving around, your body will forget. Like,
Yes, I
Whoa.
highly recommend that for other people. For me, I do not care anymore. I don't want
Yeah.
I don't want any more information.
Yeah.
But this Ka. So then I looked it up, and I didn't know that Ka is a whole thing in like Egyptian like mythology, and the Ka is actually like our spirit body. What? So a lot of the rituals for like embalming and everything had to do with the Ka. So I was talking to my own spirit body.
Wow.
I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy. But for the most part, when I'm with a client or reading for somebody now on purpose, because for years I did it not on purpose. I was just doing bumps and then decided to talk to people. Like, I have to tell you something about like the goldfish at your grandfather's house, and they'd be like, what? And then we'd sit down for 3 hours and talk. But so now I sit down and do it on purpose. It's also why I'm sober, because I want to be clear.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like a movie that plays, like a daydream, or this is how I've always daydreamed. It's kind of over here. And it's just like scenes from a movie will play. And I just communicate what that is. And sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I see as if there's like an overlay, like augmented reality. And it's kind of distant, but it'll be like if somebody has, like you have a great grandmother who just keeps coming in the room, kind of a thing.
Wow.
She was in the room earlier too, but they come and
Hers?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
They come and they sometimes they say specific things. Sometimes they convey emotions. Sometimes I get images like I said, goldfish. Sometimes I'll get a goldfish. Depending on the kind of goldfish, it'll either mean like money's coming into the person's life, or they had a pet goldfish. I'd have to figure that out.
Okay.
Which is why when I'm working with someone, I'm like, please tell me no when it doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
Do not try to make anything fit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It can be a lot.
Wow.
She keeps shaking herbs at you.
What does this mean?
I don't know. I'm
Herbs? Okay.
herbs.
Okay.
Like
So she's my mom's mom.
matrilineal, yes.
Okay. And she keeps shaking herbs.
Yes.
Okay.
Like you're not eating the right things. Like you're not taking care of yourself.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. You talk about like every day. Yeah, for sure.
And like you don't know the recipes is what.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. It's that's crazy, because I was telling you before that every time I go to a psychic reading, they always say you come from witches.
Yes.
And they always say to burn white candles and try to communicate with them and receive this information to then learn. And ever since I was younger, I've always been.
She's laughing at you.
Oh, well, girl.
You don't need you don't need the candles. Oh, she has a very specific personality.
Oh, okay.
You don't need the candles.
She's Persian, so yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. You don't need. You're better than the candles.
Oh, period.
All you need is water, like a bowl of water.
Oh, okay.
And you can see everything you need to see.
Whoa.
And
Yeah,
some mushrooms.
What the hell? No, it's wild because, I don't know. I've always been drawn to witches. I've always loved the idea of witches. I've always thought, like, I always knew it was from my mom's side. That's what I always thought. And anytime I would ever bring it up to my mom would be like, no. But then she would randomly sit me down and have these real conversations. My mom also reads tea leaves. She also has a book of dreams. She also always goes through and reads. But then she'll be like, it's all just hocus pocus. But then she'll believe in this stuff. And she actually said that she talked to or had a moment where she spoke to God.
Yeah.
And she said it was like around right after my sister was born. For those of you who don't know, my sister has brain damage. And she was basically, it was like while my mom was giving birth, she was wrapped with the umbilical cord and then deprived oxygen. They saved her, but she's in a wheelchair. She's wheelchair bound and she can't really communicate or anything, and she lost all mobility. But afterwards, my mom was like wanted to die, and she was just like, I'm sad, I can't do this. Like, and she said that she was like yelling and being like, why would you do this to me, God? Like, I want to die and this and that. And she said her whole body shut down. And she like passed out, and then she just heard a voice. And the voice said that I'm going to bring you another child. And then I was born. And then she found out she was pregnant with me. But I ended up being a faggot. So, and I was not an easy child, I came with a lot of personality.
The gift that you are.
Oh my God.
Just keeps on giving.
But it's
gift
so
that you are.
But it's weird, and you know, and I had a witch nose, I had a mole, and I had a witch chin too, and I shaved all of that down and got rid of the giant mole I had on my face. But I've always been like, you know, so drawn to witches.
Well, I mean, being a witch is one thing. I identified hard with that for a while, but I'm so many things these days.
Yeah.
I was just telling somebody I don't even really care about the name psychic at this point. I feel like it's just my way of life.
Yeah.
That like was always normal for me, and I had to like have vocabulary to explain it to people.
Yeah.
Being a witch is really just being in tune with nature.
Okay.
You know, and magic for the most part is using what's available to affect your will.
Okay.
Or to work with what you've got. That's really it.
Wow. So what do I need to do?
Well, she's telling you need to pay attention.
Okay.
Because she's been telling you. But everybody's a witch, first and foremost. But she said, no, not like this.
Oh, okay.
She just corrected me.
Oh,
No, not like this. Also, you should be writing down your dreams. Because they speak to you. No, it's not just her. They speak to you in your dreams. Wow. Which is also like a really great practice for anybody, by the way, is to, when you do wake up, write that shit down.
Yeah.
And also, if you don't remember dreams or you don't have dreams, one, are you on medication? And two, if you're not on medication, then say that you want to remember your dreams before you go to sleep.
Okay. Wow.
What if you always having nightmares instead of dreams?
It could be because you are not aware of what's actually happening. And I say that because sometimes we're afraid of help.
Okay. Yeah, no, so again, we talked about this on previous, but you can maybe answer this question. Is I've always had the same
Okay. We stay busy.
Right? I'm gonna murder these people.
I'm not gonna get in the way of three things: food, fucking, and
well, nothing
finances.
is worse. Honestly, sidebar, nothing is worse when someone texts you, "What are you doing?" and you don't respond, and then they call you. I didn't respond to your text because I'm busy. Why the fuck would I respond to your call because I'm busy? Like, hello.
Yeah.
Anyway, so every day,
G-Mom.
right, finger it out. And then you call and it's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Good. I'm ignoring you. Hello,
fuck off, Mom. Call me back later. I'm talking to my great aunt or grandma."
Every year, this doesn't happen anymore, but for a very long time, every year on my birthday, I'd have the exact same dream, and it's when I would be playing on a giant chessboard as I was one of the pieces, and I was kind of running around, and the other pieces was the devil, and we would just be, the board would be kind of like moving, and I'd be running from one place to another, and it'd just be the devil, and it would it would always be on my birthday, so bad that like every time it was my birthday, I would just intentionally just stay up for 48 straight hours because I just didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I would not want to go to sleep on my birthday. And then when drinking became a thing, I just would get wasted. So I'd black out and not remember my nightmare. But I would always have that same thing. And occasionally it'll pop up every once in a while, just remembrance of it. It was so fucking real and vivid. I'd wake up just drenched in sweat that I'm just like playing this chessboard with the devil. Wild. You know what I mean? And it was wild. Like it was intense.
How long did this happen?
A long time. Like from age as a kid all the way until I was well into my teens. And occasionally it would happen off and on, you know. But.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
Right.
You were scared, yes? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I was scared because like then now my dreams, I don't really dream too often, or I do and I just don't remember them. But I dream often that I'm watching my own funeral all the time. All the time. I've seen myself die time and time again, and I've seen all of my friends at the funeral. Like, and I'm just watching people like give their speeches at my funeral. It's very interesting. And I'm in a casket too.
What was I wearing?
Right? Which time? You weren't there actually, so we probably died together.
Oh my God.
Was it an open casket?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm just curious. I'm nosy.
Oh yeah, right. No. Never open.
I have a lot
that's
of
a good
questions.
question, actually. But yeah. That's a good question. I never noticed that, but it's almost always a closed casket and people just giving a speech and my little pictures next to it. It's interesting. But
have you been to many funerals? Okay, I can really do this. So this is one of the things I love to do. So go ahead.
See, I've always related to in my mind because I've witnessed a lot of death in my life. I've seen my grandma when I was really young, like 7 years old. My grandma just died right in front of me. She took me to the park, keeled over, and blood was coming from her nose. And I ran back to find my grandpa like blocks away. Yeah. Then from there, I've seen children die in motorcycle accidents. I've seen this guy hit an embankment where his wife flew from the windshield and like half her face was missing. They were on their way to the Casino Morongo and like he was crammed under the dash of the car. I was the first one to the scene of the accident. I've just seen a lot of people die.
He really
in front of me.
has, yeah.
Like I just happened to be in the right and or wrong place at the wrong time where I just see people dying.
But I'm the
You know what I mean?
opposite. I've never, ever experienced none of that. None of that.
Yeah.
That's why the idea of death is so like what to me? Like that's I'm so far removed from that. Very polar opposite. That's crazy.
Yeah. Who knows?
Hold on, I'm really focused on these dreams though.
Yeah.
And it's got my eye acting up. So I'm thinking maybe we didn't see it for what it actually was, and you saw it for how you could see it. Because that happens. And in that, one, recently, if you're talking about death, like seeing your own death, you might have to let some things go.
Okay.
So you were talking about ego death earlier. It may be that like this idea of who you've been to so many people, you're not that person anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like you can let that go.
Interesting.
And so like your spirit, your subconscious or actually super conscious that knows way more than we do is trying to tell you like, you can let it go. It's okay to see these people show up kind of thing.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
That's one way. There may be other things, but that's what I heard when you were saying that.
Yeah.
But also like, have you been reckless?
Oh yeah.
In what way?
But what I'm saying, like, have you been reckless? Like, then this is your body acting out those fears in your dreams so you don't actually die in this life.
It's funny you said that. I've thought about that too because it's like I firmly, even my family thought that I'd be dead by 25. It's like the way I was so reckless.
Yeah.
I would literally, I totaled countless cars from just street racing and like I drove one into a green
He was obsessed with
burrito.
fire.
I drove my Hummer into a tree and it exploded. Like, and I just I escaped out the back door and ran away. And like I've like so many times that my parents, everyone was like, "Oh, we did not expect you to live past 25. Trust me." Like everything I did was just the worst. Like I was the epitome of white privilege.
I think these two situations of your dreams
are just
I think
like
they're
the
related.
world telling
Actually,
me, like,
no, I think you may be your own undoing, and I think get out of your way, friend.
Yeah.
Like, so the devil's not real. It's real, but it's not real. It's more of like
a construct that we created. Yeah.
And so when you see the devil, or whenever there's imagery of a devil, or just the idea of the devil, it's about like temptation. It's about addiction. It's about vices. It's about things that like, it's the shadow is not bad because that's where all the potential and creation can happen. But it is the idea that we've put on things that we're not facing or can't face, or what we've gone through that we're trying to like move away from.
Okay.
And so like it comes at us. And if you're having this repeated dream every year, like there's probably a lot of stuff you were stuffing down.
Yeah. Probably. Subconsciously. Because I mean, I've lived
No, I'm not saying like you
life.
consciously did this, especially as a child.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's why I asked like, what were you going through as a child? Because if you were having dreams of the devil as a child, then like you're really facing some stuff.
Well, probably because I was a shithead. I was a little brat.
Yeah, but like, you could say that. I'm not gonna laugh at you. I'm not gonna allow you to do that to yourself because no child is a brat for no reason.
Yeah, that's true.
No child is a brat for no reason.
Yeah. No, it's my parents.
You know, I'm not now. Adults, we can talk shit, and if you a brat now, I'm gonna let you have it. But no child.
Yeah.
Look at our
Sorry.
comments. Everyone thinks I'm a brat.
And
Well, everyone thinks I'm a man, so on Facebook.
well, girl, get that passport.
But that's
thing.
fine. That's fine.
Anyway, I'm like, especially when it comes to like you turn. I turned on my like. That's how I hold safe space for people.
Wow.
It's like actually like we just have the conversation.
Oh my God.
We just open it up to like say, well, what if? And especially when talking about dreams,
Yeah.
to like really go there.
Yeah, there's super open to interpretation. I'm
What
sure.
about what about our love lives? What do you see anything for that?
We might have to read your cards on that one. But,
I can read your cards on that one,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for you have to figure out what you want.
I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
I gotta figure it
Like
out.
it's real clear. Like it feels like a brick wall in front of you, and everything kind of goes sideways. Everything's a lateral movement for you, and it cannot go forward. I literally see this. It cannot go forward until you decide what you actually want.
Yeah. I want Jake to help us to make money on this podcast so that we can move forward and
Done.
happily ever after.
I know
life, my
exactly
ass.
what the fuck I want.
Do you?
As far as
What or who?
guy, or who? Yeah, like a guy. Yeah,
We all
But I
want what
like-
we can't have.
yeah.
You can have everything you want. Now,
I
do you
think
want
I
to deal
can
with the
have
consequences?
him. I just think it's the wrong place. Like it's just we're
Wrong
in
timing.
Yeah, the timing is just off.
Oh, well, let's do this. Well,
Oh my god.
do you have any questions for us, darling?
No, I don't really care.
Okay. Cool. Well, now it's time, Shayan.
That is so funny. That is so real. That is so real.
Well, now it's
I don't
time for
give
your
a-
favorite part of the episode, Shayan.
Go into the where are we gonna go? The metaphysical? The meta the meta
I would say game time. We're gonna switch it up today,
Yeah.
and we. Oh,
Well,
we'll do-
technically, it's a game because I brought my playing cards.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
okay.
So I started
We're
reading
gonna get
tarot.
some tarot card readings right here.
Oh my god.
Yes, I started reading. Why is my phone going off? Oh,
I
there's a
know,
picture of
for-
the monkey aliens I was showing you
Oh
earlier.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I love monkey aliens.
Oh
Monkey
my
aliens.
god.
We're gonna have you back on for a full alien
No,
topic. though,
literally,
because
please, 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 please.
I live for a good alien.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really drunk one night,
Uh-huh.
and I had at this point I had been practicing tarot since I was like a teenager,
Okay.
Mhm.
but like it never really stuck. And then one night, whose house was that? It doesn't matter. I decided like I wonder if you can read playing cards.
Mm.
So I just applied what I knew about tarot to the playing cards,
Yeah.
and it worked because it turns out the cards are actually the minor arcana,
Wow.
which is more of a physical reality. I can't say that. It's more of like the day-to-day mundane instead of like zoomed out
Yeah.
archetypes and things
Wow.
like this.
Mhm.
Still archetypes.
Wow. Yeah, my mom, she reads the Turkish coffee, but she refuses to read me though. She won't read for
Well,
me.
because what
She'll
happens
read
is you
for all
can't
my
really read for
friends.
people you're close with.
Mm.
So like reading for family or reading for really close friends,
Okay.
it's complicated. One, because you kind of already know their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what are you really trying to say here?
Yeah.
Your sister is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like,
like,
that's just your
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
oh, you're getting
know?
rid of your penis.
Yeah. No, literally. Wow.
So like, it's not really helpful. And if she really gets messages, she'll tell you if she gets a message.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Oh yeah.
she's been like, don't go on that day or like whatever the thing is. But if it's
Always.
Don't suck that dick, and then she gets chlamydia.
Don't do all that.
Oh my god. Yeah, she always. Oh yeah. I have a very anxious mother.
She just wants to protect you.
Of course.
So do you have a question?
Oh.
I request the most benevolent outcome. Do you have a question?
Oh wait. I needed some protection. Yes. Do I have to ask it out loud or just think of it?
You can ask it out loud. I mean, this is like also an auditory platform.
Okay.
But like you can keep it to yourself and we can see what comes out.
Oh. Okay, I'll keep it to myself.
No, I want you to ask it.
No. I want to keep it to myself because I'm just maybe if she, yeah.
So you want to test me is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want to ask.
And if I well no, if you're getting it right, then I'll chime in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold that question.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it in a second.
I want to make it easier for you. It doesn't have to be that super up in your face.
Oh well, then let me move.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh, my feet finally touched the ground.
Oh my gosh.
They were dancing. Today. Y'all, I fucking love all of these interviews things. When I was a kid, I like would sit up late at night and listen to like all the late night talk shows and then interview myself to go to sleep.
Oh, really?
And I would like make up
That's
stories.
great.
I would be like the host of the show and the guest. Girl, I would make up all
Wait,
the
what was your
stories.
host name?
Oh, I didn't have a name. It was
Okay.
just like I would
You know, sometimes you bring yourself in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here's Shayan the Great.
vary that, but I was just introducing myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was really what it was. And then I would ask me questions like, interesting, you asked me that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
At
that.
like 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do
Yeah.
when I was a kid,
Huh.
and you might know something about this, but like I firmly used to believe that you could tell your body to heal itself.
Oh,
You
for
can.
sure.
And so I would, whenever I was sick or whenever like something hurt,
Mm-hmm.
I would dispatch the cells to the place.
Oh.
I
No.
need white blood cells to go to my elbow because I got a boo boo.
That's so
you know what I mean? And like I would like
Wait, but
tell
this is like an
myself to do
actual
it.
practice.
Really?
This is an actual practice that,
Wow.
like, as a healer,
Uh-huh.
like that's what we basically do, but we use light. So if you're
Okay.
using like the cells of your own body and like visualizing it
Mhm.
and like speaking, you can talk to your body. You can
Yeah.
tell yourself my knee
That's what I
doesn't
was.
hurt.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was like,
And
there's
then you
times
can-
where like, I'll be honest, most people my age, because I'm old, have like back problems or like really knee issues or something, but I don't really have issues like that at all, you know? And I sit there and I think it's because like I do drink a shit ton of water and I don't drink sodas or anything like that, but I'm also kind of an alcoholic. I love tequila. But, you know, if I do have a back problem, I'll sit there and I'll kind of just like tell myself to work it out, you know? And it's like, all right, like let's focus on that area, you know what I mean? To like heal, and it seems to be fine. I don't know. I don't want to like, you know, I hate.
No, you can actually do this. This is a whole practice, and you can. What would help you even further when you do that is to use your breath to direct the energy.
Oh, like breathing.
Like so, when you breathe in, send it to whatever needs, and when you breathe out, take the pain and all of the stuff out.
Meanwhile, I like moan and grunt and can barely walk up a flight of stairs. I'm
literally.
I mean, I'm 350 odd pounds, and I'm doing great.
You don't look more than like 160.
Girl, on my right thigh. Girl. Okay, hold your question here. Yeah. I'm going to shuffle 3 times. And I'm going to have you pick a card. We're just going to pull. Whoa.
4.
That wanted to come out.
I wanted to come out.
We're just going to pull. I was going to say 4 cards. And a 4 came out. But we're going to pick 4 cards. So go ahead and cut the deck in half first. The gloves, mama. I wasn't thinking. And then we're just going to take these 4. 10 of clubs. Hold on. Okay. So we have 10 of clubs, Jack of spades, 8 of spades, oh Lord, and the 4 of clubs. Come on. Well, 10 of clubs, right side up? Yes. 10 of clubs, right side up. So what you're going through right now is like you're doing things differently.
For sure.
Like in your business, like your passion, how you do things, why you do things, what you're doing. New story. You are graduating, closing the book,
period,
and moving on.
I feel that.
The end of the cycle.
Yeah.
Then you have the Jack of spades. Is she right side up? Yes, she is. Well, I mean, this could also do because you're here sitting here on this podcast, but the Jack of spades is about communication. It's about kind of being a rebel with a cause. Like
I like that.
You were talking about your throat chakra earlier, and this is about speaking your piece. Like, you know enough. You'll learn more as you go.
Of course.
But it's time to like stop questioning yourself. Speak the fuck up. And so that's what you're learning. You're basically being forced into this.
I like that.
Like, your opinion really fucking matters. And you have the 8 of clubs. So if you've had spades, if you've had ideas of like where you thought you couldn't go any further than this, and all of that is moving. All of that is shifting.
For
like
sure.
the glass ceiling has broken, and the movement is going forward. There's forward movement. You are unstuck now. You also, because this is communication. I want to know what you asked, because the only thing that's unstable is probably your business. And by that, I mean like the structure of it, the foundation of it needs to shift.
Okay.
In order to sustain everything that's happening for you.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Yeah,
which is interesting because you also have the 4 of diamonds that was reversed, that came first, like decided it wanted to come out of the deck. That is saying like, when it comes to your finances and like your day-to-day life, you need to get it in order.
Yeah.
You really need to work on your logistics.
Oh, I do. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
But what was your question, so I can make this relate to the question?
So, well, I mean, mine was, it was a little.
Because this just read you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is exactly what I feel like I should have asked. I asked a dumb question where, like, no. I knew I shouldn't have asked.
There's no dumb question, but this happens all the time when I'm in readings. All the time when I'm in readings with people, they ask a question, and I'm like, in order to get to that, in order to like even focus on that, you have so much other stuff.
This is what I'm
that, like,
thinking
we
of
can focus
on. This is, I think of this constant, and I do feel that 100%. But I asked about love in a specific boy.
Oh, you don't even need to worry about that.
Yeah.
But if you look at it through the lens of love, the 10 is going, well, okay.
I'm wondering if this boy is good for me or is going to come back. I mean, I know most of the answer, but if he's going to come back, if it's I don't know.
So looking at these cards with that question, I'm going to pull for more. These cards with that question, the 10 would be that you got to do things differently. Like the way you did it before, it's not going to work. And also, like, you've elevated your sex life. You are more, the way that you are passionate and the way that you express yourself physically, like your fire, your desire, your creativity is next level now.
Yeah. I mean, now for sure, I'm focusing more so on career than love. Before, I used to only care about love because I thought that was like what I needed. Now I am focusing more so on career. But there is just one boy I miss. I think about often.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, they're all. Oh, so they're all red.
No, they were.
Damn. That'd be wild.
You got the 4.
I got all the 4s.
You did.
Wow.
Oh, they're 5 4s.
No, there's
Magic.
not 5 4s.
No, there's 4 4s.
Oh, that's the ace one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you got the 4 of hearts, the ace of hearts, the 7 of diamonds, and the 4 of spades. When asking about a man, well,
shit.
no, I'm settling in to like interpret it because it can go several ways. It's gonna have to be new. Like you have to choose to do things in a new way.
Oh, okay.
But the foundation for the relationship is there.
Oh, okay.
And what it looks like step by step is gonna be a fucking mystery with the 7. Like, and that means like where you're living, and that means like all of this. It's one step at a time.
Okay.
So if you're asking for advice on this, it's not possible. You just really need to make sure that you treat this as a new cycle and like don't bring up shit from the past.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And with this 4 of spades here, it is going to take you being uncomfortable with kind of like what they have to say and with what you have to say, with what they have to say and what you have to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got to say the things. You got to put it on the table.
Yeah.
You have to like communicate and express yourself inside and outside in order to like actually make this work.
Yeah.
But there is a way forward where things work out. It's a 6 of clubs.
Period.
With it, and it doesn't mean that things like there's a way to let things be what they're gonna be and dance in between it all.
Okay.
Like it's about harmony, not balance.
Wow.
It's about working and making the song work and not forcing anything to like be even
Yeah.
or like it is what it is and we move around it.
Wow. I love that.
3 of clubs. Okay, that's good. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good news. It's coming together.
Hey.
Collective connection, collaboration, creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Cute.
Oh, and the 3 of hearts. Oh, this could go very well.
Okay.
This could go very well.
Period.
Upside down. Oh, people will talk shit.
Oh, well, duh. Yeah, I'm look at our Facebook.
People will talk shit. You might have your heart broken a little bit in the process.
Oh, of course, always.
But then the 6 of spades coming out says it's also going to do a number on your mental well-being.
Ew.
You got some things to sort out.
Yes, always.
Don't negate how you feel. Don't negate what you're thinking. It's allowed. Like, express it.
Yeah.
We can move with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that. That was beautiful.
How does it feel?
I love it. It feels good. And then I need to go home and I need to get a bowl of water and sit and.
Oh, what she was saying, I know what she was saying. But when she said that, she wasn't telling you that that's what you need to do.
Oh.
She was telling you, like, you don't need that shit. Like, we're not like those people.
Oh, okay.
She goes, all you
We're
need.
Persian.
You can do everything that they do with only a bowl of water. It's very her attitude.
Oh, period.
But yes, if you wanted to, you can gaze in like the same way you would a crystal ball, or a black mirror. You can.
I want a black mirror. That's cool.
You can paint the back of a mirror black.
Oh.
Or the back of a picture frame black, and then it's a black mirror.
Oh, interesting.
But you can also get like obsidian or whatever.
Wow.
But you basically look at the water, and if there's ripples or whatever, cool. But if you have like a bowl, a glass bowl, pick the bowl that you want to use. You look at the reflection in the bowl the same way you would at the crystal ball, and you kind of like unfocus your eyes.
Okay.
Don't focus. One of the most important things in reading anything I read, even like speaking with the dead and stuff like this, the harder you focus on it, the faster it goes away.
Wow.
So like it's about allowing it to show itself to you and interpreting what you see.
Okay.
And you may see something, you may see nothing. Careful if you're doing it in a black mirror. I will say this. Also careful with flames around black mirrors, because that's all kind of magic that you can open up all kinds of portals.
Okay.
In a black mirror, especially, if you stare at your own reflection, you can do this in a regular mirror long enough, you will see other lives you've lived. I shouldn't say will. It is possible to see other lives you've lived. Like, your face will change. I've seen myself as all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Things, and I mean things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about the devil.
That's why the movie Smile really freaked me out when they would see the smile. Because one time when I was really drunk, I saw that in the mirror, and
that's
I
what I'm saying.
freaked the fuck out.
Well, that's because alcohol you are literally taking on spirits.
Exactly. That's why they call it wine and spirits.
It's literally taking on spirits.
Yes.
And actually, any synthetic drugs and alcohol, they're the processed.
Oh, that was a horrible night.
all.
I felt an evil spirit for sure.
You create holes in your aura, like the way we have holes in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
So like things can get in, entities can get attached, and it's not
Yes.
even just entities. Sometimes it's like somebody's stank ass energy,
Right.
just kind of like also found a place to like latch onto with you because you were feeling a kind of way that night.
Yeah. Wow. What about him? Do you see anything?
Do you want to ask a question?
I don't know if I have
or
a question.
median or anything or anyone coming to
This
you
is
with
tough.
him?
No, like you're actually really closed off.
Yeah. No, I don't really. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like really closed off. Thanks for
Or anyone that wants to give him a message or anything like that, or
No, I don't think you want it.
I don't know. Probably not. Probably
Yeah.
for my dad.
Well, there is a woman that came in with a father figure.
I don't know. Maybe my grandma. And my
Is
dad.
are they both?
Hmm?
Okay.
She died a month ago, 2 months ago,
Yeah.
like 101.
She came in with him and she brought him in. Would he not have come on his own?
Yeah. I mean, they were good friends.
No, but like
No.
for you, would he not have shown up for you?
My dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We never talked.
There you go. So that still no. He wouldn't.
Okay.
She brought him in.
Well, tell that motherfucker I better not be watching me when I'm jerking off.
It doesn't work like that. Again, grandmothers, whenever grandmothers come in, there's always this like first, and I feel silly because it is repetitive. So like people watching me are like, oh, they always say that. No, it's like what they say all the time. Like I had this one a Puerto Rican client who like the grandmother comes in and she goes, she's not making my soup. They don't make the soup. This one doesn't cook the thing. You know, like that. So, but your grandmother is saying that she will always be here to take care of you. Specifically, not necessarily to take care of you, comfort you.
Yeah, probably. She was crazy. Loved her though.
yeah.
What you call the hoochie coochie lalas?
She wants to comfort you, though. She can't do it right now.
No, not yet.
I'm trying to understand what this thing that she has with butter is.
Okay. I don't know.
Like everything's like butter colored and like feels buttered flavored, and I don't know what this is. Did she have a heart problem?
No, she died of being old.
She just died of being old.
100. I'm saying 102.
Yeah, she was right, yeah.
101.
I don't know what the butter thing is.
Interesting.
Wait for that to happen.
I mean, the only thing I could think of, which is kind of a little weird, but like I know that she's because I'm Mexican, so she used to make homemade tortillas with butter on them. It was like our thing. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like just tortilla and butter.
That's all it would be.
Yeah.
Literally tortillas with butter.
Yeah.
Like that and strawberries dipped in sugar. That was like her thing. So I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Well,
loved
like
butter.
I said, don't make things fit, but
Yeah,
if that
yeah.
feels right.
Yeah, I mean,
She
that's
was talking about
I'm down
butter.
to try this tortilla and butter.
It was
so
good.
let's
Oh,
do
nothing
it.
is
Have you
better
not
than
had a tortilla and
I
butter?
never.
Nothing is better than
Maybe a little
homemade.
salt sometimes.
Really?
Homemade tortillas, though.
Okay.
Not
well,
the
you
shitty
want to?
tortillas.
We can practice. Yeah.
There we go.
We
We're gonna
can
make
use
it on your butt cheeks.
my great grandmother's recipes, and
Right. Your spices. and my
spices, the
grandmother's
saffron.
tortillas.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, she's explaining that she can't be showing up for you. She will when you need her to. But your dad has left, by the way. He's out the picture. He was in and out so fast. Gone. But they want. It feels like this room needs to know this. So there's a contract that needs to be signed.
Oh shit.
okay.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, we
You're
were
right.
just talking about that today.
Yeah, you have to sign an NDA.
Oh, stunning. No, but like for real, there's paperwork that needs to be signed
We were
because
just
you're
talking
moving
about
on
that.
to something.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay.
You're. It doesn't feel like it's about necessarily this business, but it has to do like it's like a branch off kind of a situation.
Interesting. Okay.
Huh.
All right.
To sign the paperwork.
We'll find out then. There's
Do
more
you
to
not know
come.
what this is? Then hold on to that.
Right.
Wow.
To go ahead and take the opportunity. Well, then the opportunity is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I like things that are coming.
Wow.
We keep it coming every single Friday.
Wow.
No, we're really happy you came
Oh
on.
my gosh.
And,
Thank you, friend.
yes.
you know, with that being said, we're going to have to wrap this episode up because this was a long one.
Yeah.
This is great. I love
Wait,
it.
I'm getting a message. I wanted to tell you that you are so iconic. You're amazing. We love you so much, and I'm so happy the world needs to see more Vicky Vox.
Thank you, friend.
They
I
do.
agree.
They really
I agree.
do.
I'm glad
So,
you got to check in with yourself, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. I
So
like that.
I know if there's any way, I mean, you should just go and do it.
I'll
The
do my
world
best.
needs to see more of you. For sure.
I guess the last question I'm going to ask is,
But
are you happy now?
I am. I'm so fucking happy now.
That's good.
Like
like
really
that.
fucking happy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm so peaceful and I don't care that it's boring. I have no fucking drama.
Mm-hmm.
My life is good. I get to do good work.
Yeah.
My bills are paid.
Yeah.
There we go.
My dog is happy.
there we
Yeah.
go.
You know, my bed is soft, bitch.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if anyone would like to have a reading with you,
Yes, you can find me on like all social medias, the
Okay.
Vicky Vox.
okay.
You. Love that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so if
Perfect.
anyone wants
Hell
to,
yeah.
get read.
Thank
Not that
you.
kind of read.
But I can do that too.
You know?
I've been very nice, but sometimes my tongue is vicious.
I love it.
Well, that's all, folks.
If you want to watch more fucked up shit,
Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
woo!
Bye.
I love you.
All right, that's all. We're done.
Thank you for having
You
me.
are so awesome. That was
was good.
literally
Thank
one of
you.
my favorite episodes.